back under better circumstances, bro. With all the crying Tony Khan did on Twitter last week, it looks like he forgot to book a good show. AEW Dynamite tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Not a total wash. We got storyline advancement for all the geeks in the back that think AEW doesn't have storylines. They forwarded storylines tonight, but nothing really substantial happened tonight in Houston. Juice Robinson wins the Battle Royal. Go figure. He will wrestle MJF next week. Sting has announced his retirement tour, and it will end at Revolution 2024. And Kenny Omega, 13 days, bitch. MJF about to break the all-time longest reign for any AEW World Champion in company history. And we're going to talk about that and so much more tonight as we are back. The Mustang is cleaned, freshly oiled, looking beautiful. The music is blasting, and the OTS venue is open for business. The only thing I need is a cold beverage. So when I get there, I want you to raise him up. When I ask that one very simple question that I have not asked you in about 6 days, what the fuck are you guys drinking? See you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Guys, thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for October 18th, 2023. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from a screaming fucking
shut up.
Yeah, I'm happy to see you too.
Shut up.
Oh my goodness.
What the hell is wrong with
October
the
18th.
cat?
2023. I'm JD from New York. As always, coming to you from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much.
Turn heel.
for joining me on your Wednesday nights, wherever you may be. Oh, my goodness. Jason Barker already getting the party started. I didn't even say anything yet, man. I've been back for fucking 3 seconds. $100 super chat. Says, I'm not going to waste this opportunity. I'm glad you are back for this season premiere you have here. Let's get those likes up and get it done here tonight. Jason, thank you so very much, brother. Happy to be back with all of you tonight for AEW. Happy to be back with Jesse talking pro wrestling, man. I missed it. Had some family obligations to take care of. That's why I was away. How you doing, man? How you doing, bro? I missed you, man.
Good, man. You as well. How was the getaway, bro?
It was good, man. It was all right. I had to do a couple of personal things, and we're back. I wish it was under better circumstances, man. It seems like all the crying that Tony Khan did on Twitter while I was away, that I was closely monitoring, that I have to talk to you about after the show is over, because I got a lot of stuff to tell you.
Oh my God,
man!
I never knew people got so mad about someone else's Twitter account.
It's unbelievable, man. That's why you don't see Jesse on Twitter hardly anymore, man. I don't even see this guy texting me during the show anymore, man. It's crazy.
Man, just get away. I found it hilarious the crap he was tweeting. Don't get me wrong, but I thought it was funnier that people got so mad about it.
Listen, one way or another, Tony Khan. He is the reason why Tony Khan gets shit on is because he just never lets anything go. And he's been through this one too many times. Just put the phone down, be a leader, worry about the next week, worry about booking a good show the following week. I didn't really understand what happened there because he had a great show. In fact, he had a better show than NXT, and we all know why they did what they did. And if I could explain that to him, I would. But all he needs to do is just come out and book the next week's show. Last week's show was fucking great. What do you need to do? What you did on Twitter. Why do you need to go and blast the fans and interact with trolls? I mean, at the end of the day, Jesse, we could sit here and talk about MJF being the face of the company, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, the Elite, whoever the fuck you want to paint in that picture, Jericho, Moxley. Tony Khan's the face of the company. How does it look when Tony Khan's the face of the company? He's going on fucking Twitter, arguing with Twitter trolls with fucking bot accounts, bot names, getting under his skin. How does that look, man? What do you think the locker room is thinking about that, man? I'm looking at this guy's he's not stable. Get off Twitter, man. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little unnecessary at the very least, but isn't he doing a lot of what I try to tell you to stop doing?
Yes. It is. Listen, you tell me all the time, why are you giving these people the time out of your day? All they want to do is rally up. They're fucking trolls. They don't give a shit, right? They're bad comedians. And, Tony Khan, he put his foot in his mouth. He said John Cena and The Undertaker did not draw $1 million for the first time in their careers. We know why NXT did what they did, but at the same time, Jesse, Adam Copeland was in his main event last week, and the show did what? Less than 700,000 viewers last week. So I mean, right. you could say that about them, but then you got an ex-WWE guy, a Hall of Famer, in your main event, not drawing near 1 million viewers and less than what he normally gets. The last time he was on SmackDown, he did 2 million views with Sheamus. Like, come on, man, you can't be really making comments like that.
I'll say two things about this old news, and we're just catching up, guys. Because JD was out. TK wears his heart on his sleeve. Yeah, he does, and I can appreciate that only in the sense of we know he's at the core of it a wrestling fan. Yeah, and me being a wrestling fan, having been ridiculed for being a fan of wrestling. I get it. I understand it. He is on a much, 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 much higher level than the average wrestling fan, and we would just love to see him act accordingly and as such. But we get it. He's a wrestling fan. And also, here's my thing about that show. It seems that no one wants to really talk about it. But like I said, I don't really care. I watch wrestling. I don't watch ratings, man. But at the end of the day, Dynamite was on a Tuesday. That's not its regular night. No wrestling show in the history of wrestling shows have been preempted to a different night and did the same or better ratings than they did before. It's just not expected. We didn't expect him to change nights and then all of a sudden do a bigger number than before. I mean, he preempted. He's gonna get lower numbers. It comes with the territory. So what did he expect? Did he expect? I didn't expect him to win. Did he expect to actually win?
Nobody expected him to win.
I didn't expect him to win.
All we asked him to do was put on a good show. He put on a fucking great show.
And he did. Yeah.
Show up next week, shut your mouth. That's all you got to do.
That's it. I mean, if you want to talk wins, losses, it was a big blown up thing that it was the Wednesday Night War and NXT moved to Tuesday. So, Chuck, if you want to count wins and losses, fine. Chalk that up. You won that one, Now move on. Like you just said, put on a great show. You did. Now we move on, man. Why are we sitting there, just blabbering on Twitter?
And what did the ratings accomplish for all the people that went back and forth, the tribalists and the elitists? AEW's better. NXT's better. Oh, we won. What did it accomplish? NXT,
I want to know.
Jesse, NXT drew what, 930,000 last week? I mean, in my eyes, them not drawing 1 million with the star power that they had on that show, Cody, Undertaker, John Cena, Becky Lynch, Judgment Day, right? All these people, they didn't draw 1 million. To me, that's a failure, right? And then you want to look at what Tony Khan did on a night that wasn't his night, Tuesday. He did a great show. He gave you pro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And where did those ratings get NXT this week? They went right back to 760-something thousand. So that didn't really translate to people maintaining, the viewership on NXT. All those people that they drew on last week's show, where did they go this week? They tuned out. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it just kind of exposes WWE for what we all know that they did, and they wanted to get at Tony Khan, and they succeeded.
Well, here's what I want to know to the company that swears up and down that AEW is not competition. They don't think about them and blah, blah, blah. Oh, this show was just for we got a contract.
Get Shay Gaming out of the chat. Sorry, Jesse. I'm not coping. Your mother's coping because she can't have this fucking dick anymore. Get him the fuck out of the chat. Get him out. Coping. I don't fucking cope over ratings. I don't need this shit on my first day back after 5 days. Get him out. God, I'm sorry.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, that's it. Oh.
Get him out.
But yeah, so yeah, what was I fucking saying? I don't know anymore. Oh, so yeah, so for a company that's saying that AEW is not competition and they're not worried about it, and this show that we got this week, well, there is a TV rights deal coming, and I think they're like the other smart ones that say, well, it's not just AEW, it was a TV rights deal. Okay, all right, cool. What did The Undertaker do on NXT yesterday?
He wasn't there.
Why not?
Because he's retired.
Did they get their new TV rights deal already?
No.
Oh, so why was he not there now?
Because AEW was back on Wednesdays. That's why.
Oh, okay. So when I said that WWE seemed a little desperate to be bringing out The Undertaker on NXT, it kind of has a little bit of validity to it because where was Undertaker last night?
He was home with Michelle.
Oh, okay. So they just brought him out. Okay, I'm just wondering. Sounds good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we know why they did what they did. And the whole point of this discussion was because we feel like Tony Khan let a lot of people get under his skin. And, I know he's got a lot on his plate. And it translated into tonight's show. All he needed to do was follow up with a great show in Houston. They sold a lot of tickets tonight, a lot of last-minute tickets for this show. They had almost 6,000 people in that venue tonight, which was a great turnout. They were a great crowd in Houston. And the show didn't really translate to being a substantial show, Jesse. Not to say that it was a bad show, but at the end of the day, you know, it was a nothing show. And the main event, not really a main event suited for Dynamite. It's more of a main event suited for a Rampage or Dark. You know, the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring that we are going on, year 5 now? Treating it as some big deal. Listen, you gave it to MJF for reasons that you gave it to MJF. It doesn't need to be defended in a fucking battle royal. It doesn't need to be an annual thing. I think we're over the concept. And if, in my eyes, you want to make it seem prestigious, I'm going to need to see better individuals competing for the fucking Dynamite Diamond Ring and not Danny Garcia and fucking Matt Menard and whoever else is in there. I don't even know who the fuck was in there. Fuego del Sol was it? Who the fuck was it? Who was in there? There was nobody in there. 13 guys in there. I mean, give me a break with this shit. Not really a suitable main event for a Dynamite, Jesse, following the tails of what I thought last week was one of the best shows that they did all year.
I could agree. They can make the, if they're gonna continue to do it annually, they can make it a bigger deal than what they have been. You know, it is kind of just brought up at the last second, thrown together. Like you said, not many big names in the match. I could agree to that. I don't mind it happening annually. MJF got it, but MJF wasn't MJF when MJF got it. But at the same time, he even still, when he got it, he was much higher on the card than the guys that we got tonight in the ring. So, I mean, I could definitely admit to that fact. They should make it a bigger deal. It's already here. The existence of it is already here. So to just ignore it and make it go away, I don't see the point in that. The ring exists, the lineage of it exists, but they should make it a bigger deal to make it important. I see what you're saying. And it did come off as like it didn't mean anything, but instead of it going away, I would like it to be a bigger deal.
No, AEW took the safe road today. One thing I do appreciate, and the reason why we got the Battle Royal, and I said this in one of my first tweets of the night while watching the show, I like a show-long story. We got Jay White and Penta, who gave us a solid match to open the show tonight. And then Jay White gets on the microphone, talks trash to MJF. Juice Robinson gets on the microphone, talks that he's going to win the Battle Royal and take the Dynamite Diamond Ring and pawn it, and that he's got his own ring made of cubic zirconia, and he's going to take Max's ring because they already took his belt. I get that. And we get to the Battle Royal, and there's a bunch of jobbers, and then Juice Robinson in there, and Max Caster is in there, as they are the final two, and Max Caster's been making a case to team with MJF to take care of the Bullet Club. Hey, you need backup? We are here. We're 3. We can go against them with you. And they ended up being the final 2. Fine. I mean, it's predictable, but it played into what they've been telling over the last couple of weeks, which I do appreciate. Simple, predictable, but yet effective. I like that. But at the end of the day, Jesse, like I said, I'm going to die on that hill. I think it needs to be a little bit more important, and we don't need to see fucking Dustin Rhodes and Matt Sydal in there, and then these guys that, you know, basically are Ring of Honor Dark competitors competing for anything to do with MJF.
Yeah, so like who was it? 318 Scooter here in the chat. I like giving out props when I see a good idea. You know, it's, you know, kind of like I just said, but they should make it like he said, like a King of the Ring type deal every year. Make it important. You know, like you said, the people they put in it just tells us how important that you believe it is as a company. So when you give us the talent that you give us, it's kind of hard for us to care about it. Also, I'm not sure why MJF still has it at that point. If we're gonna do it like a King of the Ring, the person that wins it should be the holder of it for the year. And if the year is over, the next, you know, tournament begins, and then that person gets to hold it for the year. So there's no reason to have to beat MJF for it. You know, it should be passed along like a title, like King of the Ring.
I absolutely agree with that. Every if you want to have it happen every year at a specific point in that year, the previous year's winner or holder of the ring should give it up, and there should be a new Dynamite Diamond Ring holder for the year. Max was given that ring to help propel him to where he is now. He used it very much so in a lot of his feuds, and it built him and gave him a pedestal while they were building him towards being a world champion. That ring, I mean, it doesn't even serve a purpose for MJF anymore, Jesse. So I feel like he's so far beyond the fucking ring. Why don't they just go and give it to somebody that could benefit from it, like MJF did?
Yeah. No, Sam Gold 22. I don't want another tournament. I would like this to be a tournament. I would like this to be the tournament, pretty much the only tournament that they should have annually, and cut out all the other unnecessary tournaments. I mean, this should be a yearly tournament, much like King of the Ring, and give it a purpose. I mean, what do you get if you hold the ring? I mean, what, like a Money in Bank championship spot at your choosing, something like that? Who fucking knows? But make it important. You make it important, then we care about it,
I mean, that would be a cool concept. Win the ring, cash in the ring, right? Whenever you want a championship opportunity, and then the ring is gone for the rest of the year until the next year. Something creative, something fun, instead of having MJF hold it and have him, wield the ring like it's fucking Frodo Baggins over here, and he's got the world championship. I mean, he doesn't need the ring. The ring is just an accessory to make him look better than he already does aesthetically, but he's not really benefiting from it. So,
oh yeah, I just caught that King of the Ring.
Yeah,
King of the Ring.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. All right.
I mean, they can't obviously use that as that's a trademark name, but I mean, something along those lines, instead of giving us a fucking generic, and I mean generic battle royal with fucking who else was in there? I mean, Johnny TV was in there. When was the last time we saw Johnny TV on TV?
Yeah, that tells us how important it is to you guys by the people you put in it. And giving it up, having Max give that ring up and pass it along annually also eliminates you having to figure out a way to get it off of him.
Yeah.
Because now you got to beat him.
Yeah.
You got to beat him to get it off of him. Now, and clearly you don't want to be beat him until you're ready to beat him. So, I mean, pass it along, have him win, and then say, you know what, I'm going to put it up. He's a baby face now, so something that he would do to, help the others in the back wouldn't be nonsensical, He wants to go ahead and put it up there at the top of a ladder or some shit, or however he would want to present it. But basically, it gets handed down yearly, and you get to tag your quote unquote next up and comer any way that you want to do that. And then I would like that. Yeah.
And let me say this before we get anybody fucking in the chat saying that we're nothing but marks and we all complain. I'm not going to complain about MJF being on my TV next week. We never do. We love MJF. Especially when he's in the ring wrestling on a Dynamite where it doesn't really call for him to wrestle. So next week he's wrestling Juice Robinson. I don't think anybody expects MJF to lose to Juice Robinson, who's nothing more than a lackey to Jay White, while MJF is being the world champion. Yes, we got what we got tonight. They made it a whole show-wide storyline. Juice predictably wins it. He gets the match with MJF because that's the story that they've been telling for the last 2 weeks. And now we get the predictable match where MJF will beat Juice Robinson. So, I mean, it's effective. How effective? I mean, that's up to interpretation. But to me, I think we could do with that. And I think next year we got to come up with different ways to make the Dynamite Diamond Ring situation a little bit more prestigious and a little bit more important, because right now I just found it to be a waste of television time.
Yeah, I can see that.
The other thing that happened tonight, Jesse, is Sting. Sting is retiring from all aspects of pro wrestling in ring tonight. He came out and he kind of danced around the word retirement and then got right into it. Said that he joined AEW and his first match was at Revolution 2021. Damn good show that was. And Revolution 2024 will be the last match for now until he wants to come out of retirement. But I don't think he's going to pull a Ric Flair. This will be the last match for the Stinger, Jesse. Revolution next year, 2024. I got my reasons as to why they announced his retirement tour tonight in the middle of October. I know Tony Khan wants to generate interest and buzz around Sting and his retirement. They're basically using Sting's retirement announcement as a vehicle for the company to say to the fans, hey, Sting, he's a legend, one of the greatest of all time, one of the biggest names in the history of the business. There will never be another Sting. If you want to watch him, he's on our show Wednesday nights on TBS or Saturday Night Collision, whatever they want to do with him. And this is the last time you're going to get to see him, so you better make it worth your while. Next year, he's calling it quits, Jesse. What do you think about his retirement announcement tonight for Revolution next year?
You know, we talked about it for a couple of seconds, off the air. And, as I sat here and thought about it, here's the thing. Sting has earned the right to go out any fucking way he wants to. So I'm quite positive if this is what he is doing, then this is his, choice of path. And there is nothing I or anyone else can do out there, can do but respect it. This is what the man wants to do. This is how he wants to, craft his retirement. This is how he wants to build his final road to his last match. This is how he wishes to do it. I'm happy because I know he is with a company where they will allow him to do exactly what he wants to do for his retirement and not a thing more or less. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I feel like, with Sting in AEW, I think you're frozen, Jesse, on your camera end, if you want to just...
oh, no, okay.
Yeah. I think with Sting and his retirement announcement, I do think that it is a vehicle for Tony Khan to generate interest here in AEW. But I also feel like with him retiring next year, I do think that he's not going to fully retire. I do think that Tony Khan will bring him back and have him play more of a backstage role in AEW. I think he may be a coach or producer. I don't think he's going to fully walk away from the company. That's just my opinion there for Sting. It's going to be crazy to see what Tony Khan does in these last few months as far as in-ring competitors go, who he puts in the ring with Sting. I'm not sure what's planned there, but we got a little bit of taste of it with Christian Cage tonight. We could see Sting versus Christian Cage. We could see Sting win the TNT title for all we know. We could see Sting in there with Adam Copeland, teaming with Adam Copeland against Christian Cage and Nick Wayne or Luchasaurus or something along those lines. But at the end of the day, like Jesse said, Sting is going to go out the way Sting wants to go out. I'm sure Sting is going to cultivate the way he wants to go out. He's going to pick who he wants to go out against and with. So it's going to totally be up to Sting here in AEW. Let me get Jesse back in here. There he is there. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Jesse's camera froze there. He's all good to go now. But yeah, Jesse, like I said, like you said perfectly, I think Sting's going to kind of cultivate his own retirement here. He's going to be in the ring with who he wants to be in the ring with. He's going to go out with who he wants to go out with. Christian Cage, I think it's going to kind of tie up into all this Edge or Adam Copeland, Christian Cage storyline, and I think we could see him in the ring with Christian Cage for the TNT title or potentially tag team match with Edge. Any way he wants to, he's going to get it.
What if I'm gonna fantasy book the holy hell out of Sting's retirement, bro? What if? It sounded like to me like one of the names he mentioned with a little bit of extra in his
gusto.
Voice. Yeah, was the Nature Boy.
Oh God.
Who has been talking about having yet another final match?
Bro, if Tony Khan does that, man, he's got to be out of his fucking mind. I think he may have drank an entire 12-pack of White Claw, bro.
No, it wouldn't be. I'm not thinking Sting versus Flair. That's ridiculous. But maybe a tag match. Sting and Darby versus Flair and Andrade.
No.
Andrade, come on.
No.
Come on.
No. Oh. Come on, man. We've seen that already.
I know.
But Ric Flair was drunk on the apron, bro. Come on.
He's trying to come back again, man.
Sting versus Darby, Sting versus Adam Copeland, Sting versus Christian Cage. I don't know who else is in there. A lot of people were like, maybe Sting should go after one last world championship run. Everybody else is fucking gunning for MJF. Why not Sting? Sting versus MJF for Revolution? I don't know.
It's ridiculous, dude.
I know.
It's about as ridiculous as Oberg and his the lack of depth here in the wrestling.
Hey, imagine that. Imagine that. Goldberg said that there's a lack of depth in the world of pro wrestling. Coming from Bill Goldberg, who's got fucking 2 moves and can't exceed fucking 3 minutes in a wrestling match. He's talking about a lack of depth in the world of pro wrestling. Sure thing, guys. Sure thing.
2 moves. And didn't he hurt somebody in the ring doing one of those 2 moves?
Yeah, he almost killed The Undertaker.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. 2 moves.
Fucking guy. I don't know. Listen, man, we're going to get into the rest of the show tonight. We're going to talk about the MJF Jay White situation. We're going to talk about everything else that happened on the show. Swerve continuing his feud with Hangman Page. Adam Copeland's great sit-down with Renee Paquette. And Jim Ross sitting down with Nick Wayne and his mom with Christian Cage, now the new father of Nick Wayne. Are we going to get Nick Wayne renamed as Nick Cage, bro? Being that Christian Cage is now his new father. I like it.
Maybe.
I like it.
Maybe. A little bit too close to Nick Gage, but I mean, you know.
It's all right. How many more cages do we need in the company?
Oh, we need more. Need more cages, man.
We don't need any more cages. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much for joining us on this Wednesday night. Happy to be back with you. I'm going to be working my ass off for the rest of the week, man. I missed you guys. We're going to get news. We're going to get live streams out the door this week. Drew and I, for all the geeks that have been asking me online, Drew, Andrew Baydella, and myself will be live tomorrow night with TNT. You guys want our thoughts on Raw, on SmackDown, 2 season premieres and everything that happened on the show. Yeah. Our opinion on Tony Khan, CM Punk.
You're going live tomorrow night?
Yeah. Yeah, but this will be before Impact, bro. We're gonna be done before Impact ends.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Yeah. We're not gonna be bleeding into your time, bro. We're gonna be done by 10:30, man. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Jesse doesn't want to be second place, but he doesn't want to be AEW tomorrow night.
Jeez. All right, sounds good.
Well, then you could go crying on Twitter, bro, saying that JD fucked you over, man.
This is true. This is true. I can, Drew and JD haven't drawn more than 400,000. I'm just gonna make up some fucking stats, man. It'll be all right, TK. We still love you, bro.
We love TK.
Oh, JD, Jesse shills, man.
Yeah, okay. Sure thing. Anyway, Drew and I will be live tomorrow night, TNT. Make sure you guys are RSVP'd in the venue. It's going to be a great show. If you missed anything, as far as my opinion goes this week, because I was away, you'll get it tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys also hit that thumbs up. I'd love if we can get to 1,000 likes for my first stream back in a couple of days, man. Make sure you guys go do that for me. Super chats are open. Get them on in. Memberships are open. Get them on in. Hit that subscribe button down below. We are less than 500 subscribers away from 150,000, guys. Thank you guys very much. Second channel is rocking and rolling. Go check that stuff out. Some great content over there for you. We just hit 6,200 subscribers on the second channel. Link is down below in the description. And
by the way, Guardian, someone's saying that they like seeing JD open a God pack. That's in reference to his other channel. That's nothing to binge someone over.
Guardian, reel it in, bro. Reel it in, man. Slow it down, man. God pack means that I opened up a monster pack. I opened $200 worth of Pokemon cards in one pack, one $5 pack. So, that's all on the second channel. Go check that out. And please follow Jesse and I on social media. At JDfromNY206 is me. And then Jesse is at Chi-Town Smark, where he is berating my girl Destiny FOMO, bro. What are you doing, man? Why are you throwing Goldberg in her face on Twitter, bro? What
are you doing? Are you kidding me?
What are you doing, man? Listen, man, whatever she wants, she can have. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
What the fuck's wrong with you, man? You go after the wrong people, bro.
She over here talking about she wants Goldberg to come back and blah, 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 blah. Man, don't listen to her, man.
Yeah, she also wants Rikishi to stink face her, but we won't get into that situation. This is a PG environment here in the venue.
PG
we
show.
are serving non-alcoholic beverages tonight. Yeah, sure thing. Fuck out of it, non-alcoholic. Come on.
PG show.
Yeah. We'll tackle that topic on a different day, man. We're going to start off with the top of the show. We got Jay White versus Penta. I don't even know. Just Pentagon Jr. Pentagon Jr.
Yep, pretty much.
He and Jay White had a fantastic match. I thought this was a great open to the show. Very solid open. We got storyline implications here with Jay White holding the Triple B hostage. We got Jay White holding the belt hostage. We got Juice Robinson wanting and eyeing the Dynamite Diamond Ring, telling MJF he's going to win it next week, win the Battle Royal, which he did, win it next week, and then pawn it and sell it, get rid of it. But this was a hot opener, and the crowd loved what happened here. So we'll pick it up after a commercial break. We got a picture-in-picture commercial. White tried to tie up Penta's mask in the ropes. Bryce Remsburg quickly untied that, and Penta avoided a back body drop, came back with multiple sling blades before Jay White came back with a somersault dive on the outside. Penta took White out with a somersault dive on the outside, which looked very nice. Back inside, we got a big chop battle between the two with Jay White, basically telling Penta to take off his shirt, make it even, and Penta willingly obliged here with chops that got louder and louder before White took out the knee, and he ran right into a spinning jackhammer into a reverse DDT. Penta ran right into a massive Uranage and a brainbuster for two. Jay White hit a dragon screw and then a sleeper suplex. Penta avoided the Blade Runner and transitioned into a Made in Japan for a 2 count. All of a sudden, the Bullet Club on the outside got funny, and they distracted from every corner of the ring, allowing Juice Robinson to hit Penta with the left hand of God, allowing Jay White to hit the Blade Runner for the 1, 2, 3. And that was it for Jay White. Pretty academic stuff here. Jay White is not going to lose, being that he's now the top contender for MJF's World Championship. So he gets the victory in a solid open here over Penta. Post-match, Jay White basically told everybody in Houston to shut up. And he said MJF is not here, but he is. He's the real world champion and truly the elite champion of AEW. He says he can't find anyone who wants to team with him, meaning MJF, to take them on and try and get the Bang Bang belt back.
Bro, stop the show. Yeah. Stop the show.
What happened? What'd I do?
Chaos did not bench anybody.
Who? What?
Okay. So he wants me to say that. So now, he can stop DMing me. We can move on with the show, right? Okay. All right. Sorry. My bad.
There you go.
Okay.
Just tone it down.
Proceed.
So he basically said that he's got no one to team with. He said he'll lead by example. In the meantime, Juice stepped up and said, spoiler alert, tonight in the main event, the Stray Bullet, Rock Hard. So now he's got 2 nicknames, Jesse. He's the Stray Bullet, and he's also Rock Hard.
Which
Juice
one
Robinson.
is it?
I don't know, man. I don't know which one I'm kind of leaning towards. If he wants one, I'll take the other.
I gotta tell you, one seems less intrusive, I guess. So
listen, man. Maybe after last week he got a little hot water with TMZ. Maybe he's gonna tone down the Rock Hard shit, man. He's like, oh Jesus fucking Christ. I got the roller quarters fucking now haunting me after last week's segment. I'm Rock Hard. They may think I'm some degenerate. Let's tone it down a little bit, says Juice.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault. That was another thing too. I'm not saying let it go.
No,
because it's AEW and I like AEW and whatever. Because if it was WWE, they would have gotten the same heat. But my God, WWE has done so much worse and not wound up on TMZ for it.
Man, listen, that ridiculous story. It wasn't ridiculous. I don't mean it in a derogatory way because I obviously feel for everything that's going on in the world today, and it was poorly placed. And, you know, I don't think AEW sat around in the fucking creative meetings before last week's show and said, hey, man, you know what would get people talking? Let's make fun of all the shit that's going on over there tonight on Dynamite, man. Let's ruffle some feathers with the big topic in the news. I don't think they did it on purpose. But the thing is, people don't realize, because these people don't watch AEW, MJF's story is very real. The story about him being bullied, everything that he said in his storyline arc is true. What Juice Robinson did was only play into MJF's storyline arc, and he's mentioned the role of quarters on multiple occasions, but it was just poorly placed. That's all it was. I don't think they were really thinking. They didn't go out there and want to do it on purpose.
That whole situation was like literally the definition of something being taken out of context.
Yes.
So if you were completely in the know and watching week to week, you were not offended by this. But now, if you're not a wrestling fan and you just read the article and see that AEW put on a storyline like that in this current day, like today, yeah, I could see it. I could see it being taken completely out of context, and probably rightfully so. I understand it. But again, this is one of those things, you know, you got to be in the know to know. It's kind of like the Britt Baker red bloody face t-shirt thing.
Yeah.
You know, out of context, I can see how it's taken the wrong way. If you're a wrestling fan, you probably didn't even look at it twice.
Yeah, you don't really want TMZ reporting on, especially after last week with what Tony Khan had to go through and what he did as far as his behavior goes on social media. Then he had that piled on top of what he was dealing with. It was just a bad week, publicity-wise, for AEW. And my cat agrees, because she's a big Tony Khan fan too. I know he's got to put the phone down. I know he's got to put the phone down. But yeah, I think that was just poorly placed there, and a lot of people wanted to make a big stink about it. They did. I didn't really find it to be a major deal, but people wanted to do that. So at the end of this, Jesse, he said that he's going to win the Dynamite Dozen Douchebag Battle Royal. He said he'll throw 11 other people out of the ring and then take his ring, pawn it, and then get another gold tooth. And we got a TJ Maxx chant because he said that he would pawn it to TJ Maxx. Now, I don't personally shop at TJ Maxx. I've been in a TJ Maxx, but I didn't think we'd hear a TJ Maxx chant in Houston tonight.
I don't even believe you've been in a TJ Maxx.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I've been in a TJ Maxx.
You say so, man.
Of course I have. Bargain basement deals, bro.
Before or after your Starbucks runs? I mean.
Oh man, I had a Starbucks Pike Place Nespresso tonight during the show. Nespresso pod. I got one of them dual coffee makers, man. It makes drip coffee, and then it also takes the Nespresso pods as well. I made myself a nice iced espresso, Starbucks. What are you looking at me for, man? Why are you looking at me like that? Yes, I'm a yuppie, okay? What do you call me? A yuppie.
Okay, fucking yuppie, dude.
I drink Starbucks coffee. Do you mind?
Jesus Christ. You know how many starving kids in a third world country you could have fed for that one cup of coffee? Jeez.
I don't know, man. It was a box of 12 pods. I think it was $7.
Oh my God, dude.
Listen. What do you like, man? I know you like something as much as I like coffee. I don't make fun of you about it.
Oh, I don't drink coffee, man. I drink water.
You wake up in the morning and you go for a nice, refreshing glass of water?
Water or juice, man. Yeah. I like apple mango juice, man. It's good stuff, man.
Sugar.
Good stuff. No, it's natural juices, bro.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Natural juices. Okay. Anyway, moving on with the.
You don't put sugar in your coffee.
No, I don't. I don't put sugar cane sugar in my coffee. No.
What kind of sugar do you put in your coffee?
I barely put any sugar. I put vanilla cream in my coffee.
Move on with this show, you lying fuck. Jesus Christ.
The natural juices of this show flowed into a Renee Paquette interview with MJF backstage. You know, he said that he could have run to the ring right then and there. This is what I like about MJF, man. The realism of what he says always puts a smile on my face. He said he could run to the ring and be like every single dumb good guy in the history of professional wrestling, and I would have gotten my ass handed to me in a 4-on-1 beatdown. But lucky for me, I'm not a good guy. I'm a scumbag.
I'm a scumbag.
I didn't do it. You know, how many times do we see a theme music play on Raw or SmackDown, and a heel comes out to distract the babyface, and they're like, whose theme music is that? Well, they turn around and they fucking turn their back on their opponent, and then they get fucking pinned by a roll-up from behind. I mean...
Max said, I'm not wasting my pop running out there for him.
That's also what he said. I fucking hate that. We got to hear Cody Rhodes in the beginning of the show. We get 2 woes, and then he comes out, and then he has a fucking 10-second interview. He says nothing, and then comes out in the main event, and we got to hear 3 more woes.
More woes.
You know, the first woe was it. The next 4 after that, they don't have any impact anymore.
There you go. He said it right there, too. I'm not wasting my fucking pop.
No way, man. I hate that. He revealed he's doing commentary on the Battle Royal later, so he wasn't going to waste his entrance pop until then. Smart. He said he was at the New York City Comic-Con, and he watched people cosplaying as champions just like Jay White. Geeks. He says he hoped I would never go to an MJF autograph session fucking wearing an AEW title, but I don't know, man. That's not my cup of coffee, man. I don't do that type of shit.
I would never go to an MJF autograph signing.
Well, I mean, that's a great way to support the talent, bro. What are you talking about?
Bro, go see the other talents, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. We're not all lucky to sit in the fucking talent hotel and everybody come up to you, okay?
This guy is just, do you know how rude to me he was in that hotel, man?
I don't blame him.
Do you know
he probably interrupted his fucking breakfast.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. You don't like being interrupted? Don't be a fucking public figure. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, all right. You made some sense there. Okay.
And the breakfast in that hotel sucked. So forget it, man. You know they eat pork and beans for breakfast over there.
Yes.
You see that?
Yes. They also have runny eggs over there, scrambled eggs, which is disgusting.
I feel safe talking shit about it now. We're back home in the States.
I mean, what did you expect from a fucking breakfast, bro? You're staying at the fucking Hilton.
I'm kidding. All my UK fans out there, the UK wrestling fans out there are fucking awesome, man.
They are.
They are fucking awesome. We're just giving you guys shit because your breakfast is terrible,
and your eggs are terrible. I'm sorry.
They were a little runny.
So he said he hoped Juice wins later so he can face him next week. He said there will be blood, but not on his hands, but on his partner Jay White. Renee asked him about Adam Cole. But then in walked the Acclaim and Billy Gunn. Max Caster said that they will team with him, win, and then at the end they can all scissor. MJF said no. Max Caster said that he'll win the Battle Royal later, and then he will win the ring, and then MJF will have to put the ring on his finger. Almost in a very, I would say, loving way. Max is looking at MJF. Caster held out his hand like someone wanting an engagement ring. And Anthony Bones told him, less is more. What are you doing? Billy said, MJF, man, that guy is such a scumbag. And then Max Caster said, yeah, but he's my scumbag. So they're still playing up their little, going at each other on social media here on TV.
If you don't follow MJF and Max Caster on Twitter, you've missed the whole build to this.
Yeah.
Because it's just epic.
I mean, is it going to end up being the Acclaimed? I mean, it could very well be the Elite, too, to be honest with you. After the interaction there with Kenny Omega and MJF, maybe they're setting up the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega to back MJF against the Bullet Club. I mean, that would make sense there.
It really would. And I like how MJF pointed out the same thing that I did a couple of weeks ago. He has his hands in so many different pots right now, man. Yeah. He could be pulled in any different direction right now and be in a legitimate ongoing feud. So his plate is full. So he got lots of people looking for his attention and everything else. So I do like that they're drawing attention to that, because one mistake or one slip up could cost him his title.
Well, I mean, don't you think he should be in that situation because he is the world champion and everybody should want a piece of the world champion and want the AEW World Championship?
Absolutely agree. You should be. There should always be more than one person at a time trying to be the top, draw in the company. I mean, what are we doing? Just waiting our turn?
Yeah.
Everybody should be trying. Well, I can't approach Max now. He's in a feud with, this. No, I don't care. He's a fucking champion. He's got to deal with me. I want a piece of him too. So I do like that there's no linear path to MJF. He is dealing with a bunch of different stories at once. So that is very believable. I like that.
If you are not here to be world champion, what are you doing here? That's what I have to say. We go to one champion to another. Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's Champion. One-on-one against Jesse's favorite female wrestler, Emi Sakura.
Why was she? They just showed her on social media crying her ass off because Shida won this title for like the third time.
Well, you don't like Emi Sakura, bro? You got a problem with Emi Sakura?
That's not what I said at all. I even made that clear the last week or two, so I'm not gonna redo that again. But they just showed her crying her ass off because her, BFF just won the title. But now we supposed to believe that she is, an evil villain that wants to take the title from her. So
listen, I think Sheeta's great. I think Sheeta's fantastic. She won that championship last week. I thought that was the right, sound, logical, creative decision that Tony Khan made last week by putting the title on Shida and taking it off of Saraya. She's not fit to be a world champion. They gave her the moment in London, and that was it. But matches like this aren't going to make Dynamite must-see TV for me. That's all I'm saying there.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing? This is basically a dark match or a rampage match, taking life or taking form, taking shape on Dynamite. We don't need it.
They announced a match with Willow and Statlander.
Great.
What are we doing here?
Another open challenge, man.
What are we doing here?
We can't get rid of him. The open challenges are products of Tony Khan not sleeping. That's why.
What are we doing?
He needs to rest his head at night, put his phone down, get a nice cool 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep max, wake up the next morning refreshed, and book a logical fucking show that doesn't give us an open challenge.
Take your MJF world title logic and just apply it to Chris Statlander. Period. That's it.
Ruthless Outlaw in the chat. Where's the Raw review, man? I was away doing personal business, bro. Do you mind?
Not everybody is here for the whole podcast, I guess. So.
Follow me on Twitter, man. You get all the news there. Anyway, this was a decent match. Wasn't something I'd go back and rewatch. I thought Shida and Saraya had a very good match last week. I thought that was the best match of Saraya's AEW run. But that goes to show you how great Shida is. And we got a decent little match here. They worked very well with each other. Both ladies collided after a commercial break, doubled down, as Shida was sent to the outside with a cross-body block through the ropes. Sakura sprinted up the ramp, or down the ramp, rather. Shida was waiting for her with a Hurricane Karana that sent her back into the ringside apron. Now we're back inside. Shida hit a missile dropkick for 2 as both ladies shredded finisher attempts. Near falls until Sakura connected with a Tiger Driver with a high stack cover, 2 count. Sakura went up top, missed the moonsault, allowing Shida to hit the big knee, but Sakura blocked it slightly and then came out at a 1, and we got a couple of pinfalls here for a 2 count. Both ladies shredded a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker until Shida hit a home run right hand, followed by a Falcon Arrow, and then that big katana knee by Miss Shida for the 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Still the AEW Women's Champion, Hikaru Shida. What are we doing with the title, Jesse? I got
boring.
Yes, it was. It was fine for what it was, but it does not belong on Dynamite. I'm sorry. We need some substantial story for Shida and the AEW World Championship. I had a little birdie tell me, Jesse, that we may very well be seeing Miss Mercedes at Full Gear.
There we go.
Yeah,
I got a better story.
I'll tell you more off the air. I can't really divulge because people are going to start asking me questions.
No, I wasn't going to dig into it on the air. I was going to wait till after the air to dig into it. But I guess something we can be doing with Shida right now. I mean, in the build to get to whatever it is that she's going to be doing that Full Gear, if that's happening.
Yeah.
And that leads into my next question. Where's Serena Deeb?
There was actually, it's funny you mentioned that. There's a report on Fightful about Serena Deeb. And there was something along the lines of her actually being backstage with the company after several months away. Let me see if I could pull up the news.
There we go.
On Miss Deeb. A familiar face reappeared backstage at AEW this week after nearly a full year away. Sean Ross Sapp was told that Serena Deeb was backstage at the AEW Collision tapings on October 13th. Those that we've spoken to say that they haven't seen Serena Deeb backstage at all this year, and the area isn't anywhere near where she would have just been visiting.
Right.
Deeb was last competed 1 year ago against Hollywood Hallie J, who was on the OVW show with Al Snow on AEW Dark in Cincinnati. Since then, she's not been. It's funny that she got a WWE tryout too after that. Since she's not been used on AEW TV,
really?
Yeah, she got invited to the Performance Center tryout. Yeah,
no way.
Yeah,
okay.
Since then, she's not been used on AEW TV, factored in creatively, or been backstage. However, she recently reappeared and popped up at the Cauliflower Alley Club. There was no word that two different factors that led to her absence, as we're told that there was a disagreement with AEW management last year. However, she's told several others that she's been sidelined with a rough injury this year. Those that we spoke to said she looked happy to be back, and management also seems to be happy that she is back, so there doesn't seem to be any lingering issues.
Serena Deeb is the sole reason why Sheeta is over with me. They've had, I think they've had the absolute best feud.
Yes.
Women's feud in AEW outside of Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
I thought their series of matches was fantastic. I thought Sheeta brought fucking like heat and fucking fire, and Serena brought out a side of Sheeta I didn't know about. And since then, Sheeta's been completely over with me. I would love to see heel Sheeta come back and pose a serious threat to Sheeta's title already.
Yeah, I don't listen. I would love that. I think that would be great. Being someone that's been off for a year, it's going to be a little bit to build her back up as far as a reaction from the crowd goes. But I think she absolutely needs to be back on TV. I think that's exactly the type of performer that the division needs. You know, I keep saying her, Athena. I mean, AEW's got so many talented women. What the fuck are we doing with this women's division?
I don't know.
Imagine having Athena and Deeb and Willow and Britt and Sheeta and Tony and whoever else you want to put on weekly TV. Statlander on weekly TV every single week. What are we doing? You're wasting open challenges. Oh, yeah, TBS Championship, open challenge on fucking Battle of the Belts, like anybody gives a shit. Then you got Deeb, not on TV for whatever reason. And then you got Athena wasting her fucking career away on Ring of Honor.
Oh, God, what a waste.
Holy shit.
What a waste. She is doing fantastic shit over there, man. I don't know why it's not on TV more.
I don't know. Like, This is the time to get the division back. You know, everybody wants more women on TV. Everybody wants a better division. Meanwhile, they got the fucking resources to do that, and they refuse to do it.
Yeah.
Like, look at how simple, like Jesse said, look at how simple the storyline was with Deeb and Sheeta. What was it over, Jesse? The heel turn was fucking perfectly executed. Sheeta was the first woman in AEW history to go to 50-0, and Deeb said, fuck that shit. I'm better than you. She acted respectful towards Sheeta, turned her back, took the fucking trophy or the little thing that they gave her, the little award, and smashed it over her head. Great heel turn. Simple.
It's great. And they beat this shit out of each other for like 3 matches after that. It was great. It was great stuff. And then Serena just went away. I mean, I know I'm hearing it was an injury. I don't know why they weren't a little bit more transparent with that, because they normally are with injuries. You know, we just went away. It was really hard to get on any Serena Deeb news, but it's good to hear that she was backstage. That's really good news.
Yeah. So Deeb may be back. Jamie Hayter, I see some people asking about Jamie Hayter in the chat. She's probably not due back till next year. She had a serious injury. I think it was a shoulder, if I'm not mistaken. And then
she gets back too, man.
And then Thunder Rosa is back imminently. I mean, she's like any week now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Thunder
They're just
Rosa.
probably trying to find the right creator for her.
Yeah.
So I mean, look at that women's division. Look at how stacked that women's. Imagine them at 100%. They got the best women's division in North America.
Yeah, they really do, and they're just not being used right. That's all.
I mean, when we got a better women's division on Raw than in AEW, we got a fucking problem. I mean, come on.
Someone, man. I mean, give it to someone. Give the creative to for the women to someone, and if it's already been passed off to someone, give it to someone who cares. Because whoever's doing it now, it just feels like they do not.
No, they don't care. We got Renee Paquette, busy woman tonight, sitting backstage with Adam Copeland, who said things haven't been going smoothly since showing up in AEW, and he doesn't understand why. The whole reason was to end his career teaming with Christian Cage, who seemed on board, but when it got closer, Cage didn't really want it. Adam Copeland talked about their 40-year friendship and how they became best friends off of their love of pro wrestling. Copeland talked about how they both wrote essays to try and win free wrestling training, which Copeland did and Christian did not. Adam Copeland won the training, got the job up north before Cage did, and it's always been Adam and J or ENC. Paquette asked if this is jealousy and if it's surprising from Cage at this stage in their careers. Copeland said, it is, and he doesn't want the TNT title or his spotlight, but knows Cage will eventually come crashing to the ground. Paquette asked what Copeland wants in AEW if he doesn't want the TNT championship, and Copeland said, it's a lame answer, but I don't know. He just knows when Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne turn on Cage, he will be there to pick him up. So, yes, this is basically how I kind of said it would go a couple of weeks ago. You know, Christian thinks that Adam Copeland is here to steal his spotlight, take his title. He's got his career better than he's got his career, Adam Copeland does right now, and Adam Copeland's back to kind of take that spotlight away from him, and Christian's not going to do what Adam Copeland wants. He's not going to reconcile. He's not going to befriend him and join him. He feels like he's there to take everything away from him. And he's just going to watch watch Christian burn to the ground, basically. Is that going to happen? Sure. When? We don't know. But right now, I don't think it's happening anytime soon because Christian right now is on a career renaissance and he's doing the best work of his fucking life.
Yeah. We're going to have a nice little long build that's going to brew up with these two guys. So we need to pack it in and get ready for it because this isn't, and it shouldn't be, a quick one-off.
No.
So I don't care how much backstory that's already there. We need more.
Yeah, they got 40 years of friendship here. That should, depending on how they want to tell it, and if I know anything about these two guys and how creative they really are, we could see this actually go deep into next summer. We could see them blow this thing off before we get the Edge and Christian team back together. This thing off at Wembley. Edge and Christian, one-on-one, Wembley Stadium, all in 2024.
Oh, my God.
I'm on board.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I thought this was a great interview, too. I think when he speaks, Adam Copeland, it's just, it just comes off real, natural, organic. He just feels like a human being when he speaks. So I really, really appreciate that as a fan. And we will see what happens there. Christian Cage and Bryan Danielson, Jesse. I don't know if you watched Collision on Saturday night. What a fucking match that was, man. Minus the ending, which was just, bullshit. Typical fucking TV main event bullshit. I thought that was a 20-minute fucking classic, man. I mean, Bryan Danielson is just fucking unreal. He really is.
I did not get to watch it. I had family stuff that night and the day after. But I will go back and check it out, though. I did hear it was a banger.
Yeah. And Christian is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable how he's 48, 49 years old, and he's this good. And I always remember reading stories about Vince McMahon saying that he didn't want to push Christian Cage because he thought Christian Cage didn't look the part. He didn't look the part. He didn't feel like a world champion. Like, really? Vince is not right all the time, man. Vince got him wrong a lot of times, and he got him wrong with Christian.
He's got quite a few wrong. Yeah. And I'm talking about in his genius days, not like in his senile days now, but in his genius days, he's got quite a few wrong. Nobody's perfect, So that I mean, you get it. The thing I like about this almost called them Edge. This Adam Copeland that we're getting now, the thing that I like the most is that he's not even angry yet. He's not angry yet.
No.
He's a little. If you look at his demeanor, he's a little confused and disappointed and everything else. Eventually, Christian is gonna drive him to the point of anger, and then he's gonna be out there cutting a different kind of interview where he's not gonna want to sit in front of Renee. It's just gonna be him and a fucking camera, one-on-one, and then he's gonna start getting fucking angry. That's when you know it's beginning to boil. It's beginning to get to that point where he wants to rip his fucking head off.
Yeah, right now we're not seeing the rated R.
Not yet,
Adam Copeland.
Not yet, but I think that's gonna come. I like the flow of this so far.
Yeah. This is like I said last week. This is exactly what AEW needs for all the geeks out there that say, "Oh well, AEW doesn't have stories." Yes, they do. This story is going to take AEW into deep 2024. MJF and Adam Cole, they're on hiatus right now, and they're still managing to tell the story slowly over the weeks because Adam Cole is injured. We don't really know what's going on there yet, but that mixed with Christian and Adam Copeland, then you got Swerve and what he's doing. We got a lot of different, and MJF, like Jesse said, he's got his hands in multiple cookie jars. So we got a bunch of different stories happening on Dynamite, man. This is right now the two strongest stories that AEW has had, maybe ever, honestly. I think this is going to be a fantastic story with Copeland and Christian. And then when the blow-off happens with MJF and Adam Cole, when that split happens, I mean, we're only getting started there.
Yeah, they have stories now. Those guys are they were just repeating the shit that the actual AEW fans were saying that there's no fucking story, because there wasn't.
Yeah.
But as of late, there has been story that has turned around. That is no longer the case. But they don't watch. We do. So we know that there's story now. They're just still saying the shit that used to be true. That's not true anymore. There's fucking story now. They can quit that agenda. That's over.
Yeah, the Don Callis family, Chris Jericho, that's another one. Yeah. Three strong stories on Dynamite.
Yeah. No, it is fine.
Wardlow. Another Wardlow squash. This time it was Ryan Nemeth. This basically was over in 5 seconds. One power bomb, and that was it. Tony Schiavone actually got in the ring and wanted answers from Wardlow. What are you doing back? What's different now? Why are you here? MJF, I think you called it last week, Jesse. MJF had, Wardlow rather, had MJF written on his wrist tape. All he did was hold up the wrist tape, and it said MJF. Tony Schiavone saw, it says MJF. What does that mean? And then Wardlow shoved past Schiavone, walked out of the ring, and didn't utter a single fucking word. What is he back for? Is he back to go after MJF? Does he want MJF? Is he wanting the world title now? Or is he there to befriend MJF and maybe back him up and maybe rekindle a friendship, seeing that his old buddy is in trouble?
Well, let's start here. First off, shout out to Tony Schiavone for taking the world's softest bump and making it look like he had a goddamn aneurysm out there in the damn ring. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, those ropes are bouncy, bro.
Oh, my God. Get out of my way. Oh, God. Jesus.
It's like me falling off of my chair when I did the Braun Strowman all those years.
Yeah, oh, God. I got a clip of that saved somewhere in my email. That was really good. But the layers of our new Wardlow is unfolding.
Yeah.
So I like that. I can appreciate that. He didn't just come in and do a squash and left. He came out, did a squash, and now the next layer is he's going to point out the fact that, yes, MJF is, in fact, written on his wrist, but now we don't know why, like you just said. For what reason? What does this mean? That'll have to come on the next layer. So I'm not in the position to say I like what they're doing with Wardlow, but I'm not on the train of I'm tired of him. Get him out of here because you screwed him already. You did screw him, and we do need a kind of little a bounce back story for Wardlow, but we may be getting it. So I'm interested. I want to see where this goes.
I am interested too, but I'm treading very lightly. And
agreed.
Anybody in the company that's watching this or listening to us speak on this particular situation, you have to understand from a fan's perspective and I've been doing this for quite a while, and I've been watching too much pro wrestling. You burn that bridge once, fine. And you rectify it, fine. You burned the Wardlow bridge 3 different times already.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk over that bridge anymore. So the next time you rebuild that bridge for a 4th time, I'm going to fucking tippy-toe on that motherfucker until I feel like it's safe to cross. And I'm going to give a hard, long look at that bridge and wonder if it's stable enough for me to walk over. I'm not walking over it willingly anymore because we're big fans of what Wardlow is capable of. The guy had potential, and now he's back for a 4th time after you fucking dropped the ball on him on multiple occasions, and now you want me to invest my time in him again? What has the company done to show me that they want to invest in him and maintain that?
Exactly. A couple of important things as it pertains to a gimmick and your hardcore pro wrestling fans is, I mean, credibility and your integrity. I mean, and right now Wardlow has no credibility with us because you took that from him. And the integrity part comes in as how are we supposed to have the good faith that you're going to treat Wardlow right this time around when you screwed him over, multiple times in the past. I mean, so if you want me to believe that this time's going to be the time, you kind of lost that integrity. So you're going to have to prove it to us again. So I'm here for it. Just want to see it though.
Listen, I'm going to give it a shot, all because of MJF being involved in some way, shape, or form. But, I don't want to write it off just yet. Skeptical. Like, I don't know what his deal is with MJF Wardlow. Is he going to cost MJF the title? Is he seeking revenge for what happened? Are they going to play into that whole thing that happened a couple of years ago, Double or Nothing? I don't know. I mean, we're well past that by now. I mean, they should have fucking played that shit off as soon as MJF got back to television. And they didn't do that. So it is what it is. We'll give it some time. We'll give you the generic. Let it play out.
Let it play out.
Roderick Strong. He was in his humble abode. Did you see the little graphic? Roderick Strong's humble abode.
Where in the fuck is Marina Shafir?
Who?
Why are there 3 guys tending to Roddy, and Roddy is a very married man?
I don't know. I don't think that this is his actual home either. I mean, is this his actual home?
Hey, it said it was his home, then it was his home.
His humble abode.
Right. So where was Marina Shafir?
I don't know. But he's got Adam Cole making him peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the fucking crust on.
Terrible. That was easily the worst.
Didn't you say something last week on Twitter while I was away doing personal business? I seen a tweet from you. You said, any parent that doesn't cut the crusts off of their sandwich for their children before they get sent to school should not be deemed a parent or something along those lines.
No, it needs to be put in jail. Need to be put in jail for fucking child abuse.
Listen, man, not all crust is bad, bro. You gotta buy the right bread, okay? Now, if you're having like Wonder Bread or generic white bread, then yes, you gotta cut the crust off. I mean, that's just disgusting.
Bro, you want to call yourself a parent and you send your kid to school with a PB&J with the crust on? Let me find it. I'm calling the goddamn cops. I'm just saying.
I don't know what type of bread you're buying.
That doesn't matter. I mean, it's for a child, man. You think a child's going to sit and critique the kind of, what is the brand of this bread? You get bread and you peel the fucking crust, period. That's it. It doesn't matter what kind of bread it is. It's for a kid's PB&J. You peel the crust. Or you go to jail. You pick.
Man, I love me some good bread, bro. Have you ever have that Dave's? I think it's Dave's organic bread. You see the commercial with the fucking guy on the package playing the guitar, man, heavy metal guitar. You ever see that commercial?
Yeah, it looks like Rick Boogs.
Yeah, it's like the Rick Boogs bread. Yeah, I love that. That bread's fucking great. It's very expensive. It's like fucking $7 in the store.
It's just bread.
So what? They got a great story behind it. Go look it up.
It's just bread.
Bread's everything's expensive, man.
Everything is expensive, man.
Fucking carton eggs is like $6.
Jesus, dude.
My fucking cream for my coffee is like $7 now. I mean, holy shit. Before I walk out, I got 4 things in my cart. I'm spending fucking $80. What the fuck's going on?
I get farm fresh eggs, man.
Cage free.
No. I don't mean like go to the store and buy farm. I mean,
you go to the farm and buy
farm.
Eggs. Oh,
yes, okay. My wife's mom has a friend that has a legit farm, like a real farm. We get straight up farm fresh eggs, and beef and chicken, like straight from the farm.
It's the way to do it, bro.
Processing plants, none of the shit like that.
That's the way to do it, man. The vegetables, man, you go buy vegetables at a farm, man. Instead of buying them in a supermarket, you taste the difference immediately.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
Anyway, we're in Roddy's humble abode. Mike Bennett's playing the bongos, and Adam Cole brings Roddy some coffee. He spits it out, saying he hates hot coffee. I have to have a talk with Roddy. Hot coffee is delicious. Strong apologizes and said he used to love it back in Ring of Honor when Adam Cole would make PB&J sandwiches. So they get a video montage of Cole making sandwiches, and they're all in slow motion, and they're they're peanut buttering the bread and the jelly, and they're putting the fucking bread on top of the sandwich, and they're making it all delicious. He gives it to Roddy. He eats it. He spits it out because the crust is still on it. And Cole said he had enough of this shit. He's had enough. He hasn't talked to Max in weeks. He's taken me for granted. I haven't even got my surgery yet. Work. Cole left, and Strong told Bennett and Matt Taven he knows what he has to do to get his best buddy back. He says, I think it's about time we start being nice to that scumbag, MJF.
Did you see Kevin Owens?
Yeah, it wasn't Adam Cole. He wasn't referencing Adam Cole.
Who are you talking about?
He was talking about another close personal friend of his in Canada named Adam.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. It's not Adam Cole.
It's a weird coincidence, no?
Yes, it is a weird coincidence that you have two very good friends with the first name of Adam, and they're both getting surgery. Yes. Yes. The world works in weird ways, man, but I don't think it's about Adam Cole. I mean, that would be crazy if they got Kevin Owens on the other show playing into the fucking work that we got happening on Wednesday. Imagine that.
Awesome.
Holy shit.
That'd be great.
Anyway, Renee Paquette was backstage with Kenny Omega, who said his win-loss record has been quite putrid lately. And thanks Kyle Fletcher for challenging him and reminding him just who he is. Once Omega defeats Fletcher and dispatches of the Don Callis family, maybe it's time for the Kenny Omega of old to challenge for the AEW World Championship, and walks the AEW World Champion, MJF. And he says he's always been a massive fan, and he just wanted to say hello and shake his hand. He shook his hand, and then he leans into Kenny Omega's left ear and says, as he whispers, 13 days, bitch, before walking off. Omega said 13 days? We'll see about that. 13 days is in reference to when MJF becomes the longest reigning AEW World Champion. Jesse, are we getting an MJF versus Kenny Omega match right before the streak comes to a halt?
Well, it's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. Maybe we get it. Maybe we get it.
It's either next week or not.
Maybe we get it on Collision.
That's on Halloween.
Maybe we get it on Collision.
Maybe, but I mean, I don't want it this soon with not no announcement.
No, it deserves more than that. It's basically what WWE did the last time the New Day and the Usos were in the ring. The New Day challenged the Usos because they were about to break their reign, and they asked for a tag team title match. One last shot to break the streak. So
13 days. Do we get an impromptu Tuesday special?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know what that is alluding to, but 13 days is in reference to the longest reigning AEW champion, and MJF's about to break Omega's record. So very interesting stuff there. We'll see what happens. But I am totally down for a match at some point with a proper build, for sure.
Absolutely, man. And MJF is plate is full. Now you got Kenny, and you got Adam, and you got all this other stuff. You got Wardlow. Everybody is looking at it. It almost seems like everything. It almost seems like everything in the company is being spiderwebbed around the world champion.
Yep,
it's amazing.
Well, somebody said in the chat that MJF is on Collision October 28th. There you go.
That's less than 13 days though.
That's 10 days from now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to see a match thrown together with 1 week build to it though.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested. Tony Schiavone. He introduced Don Callis reluctantly. Don Callis, Konosuke Takeshita, and Powerhouse Will Hobbs. They all come out. Don Callis getting booed out of the building in Houston. Said last week somebody did the unthinkable and demolished Chris Jericho. Hobbs said February 22nd. So we're getting an explanation here as to why he joined the Don Callis family. He said on February 22nd, 1998, he was supposed to have the greatest day of his life when he was supposed to meet his hero, Chris Jericho. Hobbs' grandmother got him front row tickets, and Jericho told her to shut up and for a young Hobbs to sit down. Hobbs swore the day he got to look Jericho in the eye, he would hurt Chris Jericho over and over, and he did just that by hitting spinebuster after spinebuster. Callis said people have always told Hobbs to bottle up the anger, but in the Don Callis family, he allows the guys to be killing machines, and Hobbs will be unleashed on AEW. Callis says that they've won every match as a family, except for when Sammy Guevara was concussed. So Callis had to get a scab that failed in Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher comes out and gets in Don Callis' face. Hobbs shoved him away. Fletcher says he took the match as a favorite to Don Callis, and maybe he was the weakest link in that match last week, but tonight he'll prove to everyone, including Don Callis, he doesn't need anyone's help to beat Kenny Omega. Don Callis says he likes the confidence. Instead of Fletcher wins, they'll have an opportunity to chat more next week. Jesse, what you think of this explanation from Will Hobbs as to why he joined Don Callis and did what he did on Chris Jericho last night? I thought it was a serviceable explanation, but one that kind of lacked a little logic because they shared a locker room for 4 years, and now you're telling me after all this time, now you're bringing up this situation that happened in 1998, all because of what happened with Don Callis now?
Yeah, you asked me and answered the question the way I was going to again. So, yes, I agree. Why do you keep doing that?
I don't know. I mean, but listen, man, we got the same fucking opinion. What do you want me to say?
I want you to ask the question, then
I gotta get my take first. It's my fucking show.
Then don't ask me. Just give your take. That was my take. I don't know why it took.
Yes, it's silly. It's silly that he came up with this explanation 5 years later after they shared a fucking locker room for the last 5 years.
For 25 years ago.
Holy
shit. Jesus Christ. I sat there and said the same thing. I'm like, why now?
I don't listen.
Why now?
Listen, the whole perception of Will Hobbs getting into the Don Callis family, he did get booed. He did get a lot of boos. There was a lot of audible fucking noise over when he was speaking over his microphone, which was great. This is exactly what he needs. You know, Hobbs looks better now standing next to Don Callis than he ever has looked in AEW. So it is working out for him. You know, it just the explanation was lacking, but
it was lame. It could have been a lot simpler than that. I mean, it didn't have to go through all of that rigmarole. Just this guy, you know, and look at him, he's a brick shithouse. You know, he needs to be under the right kind of management, and I'm gonna take him where he needs to be. Simple, fucking simple. You know, he knows where the money is. It's with the Callis family. I know where the fucking power is. It's right here in Powerhouse Hobbs, and we're gonna get this shit. 25 years ago, I was at a meet and greet and Chris Jericho. What?
Yeah.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? You got wrestling fans watching you right now who are not 25 years old. Man, that is some old lame shit.
I mean, that's not. I know. I talk about long-term booking all the time, but this is not this is not my form of long-term booking.
We like the pairing, the group, like the pairing. Hobbs, it fits, it works. You just try too hard with the reason. Just he's a killer, and I want killers on my team. Period.
Yeah.
You know, done.
Kenny Omega and Kyle Fletcher, they had a really, really good match. And I said on Twitter, Jesse, you know, a lot of the times, and I'm going to reference Vince because, you know, he is a culprit in this. You know, when a tag team went down with injury, for example, we're looking at the Viking Raiders on Monday Night Raw. Ivar is having some banger matches against the New Day, against Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. And Eric is going to be out for a very long time. So Ivar, instead of being on the shelf, Triple H is not going to keep him off the show because he's not hurt. He's going to send him out there and have some banger singles matches. He's going to get over. And I like that because when Eric does get back, Ivar is going to be stronger, and it's going to make the Viking Raiders stronger as a whole, with him having some tremendous performances. And the same thing could possibly be said about Kyle Fletcher. I mean, I like the fact that both Triple H and Tony Khan are taking these two different tag teams And they both have partners that are injured. And we're not keeping the uninjured to the sidelines. We're not keeping them in catering. We're letting them go out there and wrestle, man. What do you think about this new feeling of, half of a tag team getting an opportunity while their other partner is injured? I love it.
Well, he's been doing it, for a while with, Darius and Dante and everything else. But now at the same time, he kind of like gave up on that.
Yeah.
Because it's hard, man. It's hard when you have a tag team with that kind of tag team synergy and everything else and the whole package that is their tag team, to have that instantly break up, and now you got to push them as a singles when they've been pushed as a tag team. It's hard to do. It's hard to get over as a single when you're known as a tag team wrestler. I'm hearing Jimmy is not doing too well in this aspect.
No, Jimmy Uso is not. He's nothing more than a lackey now. He's just kind of settled back into the bloodline, which is.
Yeah.
You want to be out, and now you want to be in. It's like, all right. Meanwhile, your brother's fucking killing it, and you're just a loser.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's not impossible, but it is hard. I don't think it's fair to say that the individual is a failure. It just may be that they were a tag team for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It kind of sucks because at the end of the day, you just kind of have this feeling that a half of a tag team is not going to go on to do anything credible. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just filling in here and there. They're not going to do anything credible. Phoenix won the title the other week, but that wasn't supposed to happen either. And then he had to drop it. So
in those instances, when you got a tag team like that, Ray Phoenix and Penta, who felt like singles wrestlers and were singles wrestlers before they made a tag team in AEW. And we really got them going in that aspect. And then you got Matt and Jeff Hardy, who, were a tag team and then became, successful singles wrestlers. A lot of it is sheer luck. And a lot of it, just requires right time, right place, right moment type of deal. It's not going to happen for everybody. You're not going to take somebody like a Kyle Fletcher and overnight make him into another Jeff Hardy. It's not going to happen that way. But I like that they're getting opportunities. I like that Fletcher and Ivar, in this instance right now at the same time, are getting opportunities while their partners are injured.
Yeah, and it does suck. I don't know. There's not a easy answer of what to do with a tag team once one is injured. I think having your tag teams become more of a trio would help secure that, i.e. the New Day. If one gets hurt, you still have two for a tag team, and right now with the Acclaim, what they got Daddy Ass in there, technically they could, well, no, they're trios champions, so they can't win, but you know what I mean? If there's more than two in the faction, then that can help them survive as a tag team. But as far as breaking them up from a tag team to a singles, that's not a foregone conclusion, man. A lot of tag teams are over because they are tag teams. And it's not like a detriment to that team. I think you can do that with a lot of like popular teams, and you could separate the Young Bucks right now. I don't think it would be a good singles run for either one.
No.
I really don't. They're better as a tag team. That goes the same for a lot of tag teams. It's not just a few. So
yeah. This was a very good match. Kyle Fletcher really proven himself while Mark Davis recovers from that wrist injury that he suffered at the Wrestle Dream show against FTR. We go to a commercial break. Before the commercial break, Fletcher cut off a Omega Terminator dive. They're on the outside. They're chopping the shit out of each other. Omega set up Fletcher on a chair, sprinted, but Fletcher hit a low drop kick, and Omega clipped the chair going into the picture-in-picture commercial break. We come back from break. Omega tried the You Can't Escape. Fletcher avoided the moonsault by rolling outside. Omega connected on a moonsault of his own off the ropes. Missile dropkick connected right to the lower back, but Fletcher countered a V-trigger into a half-and-half suplex. He came out of the corner with a big kick, a brain buster, got Fletcher a near fall. Fletcher came back with a vicious lawn dart and then a Michinoku driver for a 2 count. A leg lariat in the ropes. Omega comes back with the V-trigger, Poison Rana, big high stack power bomb, another V-trigger, and Kyle Fletcher kicks out. So he's really proven himself here to have that guts, that fucking determination here to beat Kenny Omega. And that's what Don Callis was looking for. Another V-trigger. Fletcher countered a one-winged angel into a dragon sleeper. Then they both trade counters until Omega hit the Snapdragon. turned Fletcher inside out with a V-Trigger, one winged angel, and that was basically it. 1, 2, 3. Nobody kicks out. Callis on commentary called Fletcher a failure for not beating Kenny Omega.
He was praising him for the whole fucking match.
Yeah. And now he lost. He's a failure.
He's a failure.
I mean, that's why he's an asshole.
That's awesome, dude.
Anyway, great match. I don't know where they're going with Kyle Fletcher. Omega's obviously going to need backup against the Don Callis family. I don't know where that backup is going to come from. Is it going to be Matt and Nick Jackson? Is it going to be Kyle Fletcher? Because obviously Don Callis, again, for a second week in a row, called him a failure and a loser. Is he going to end up joining Kenny Omega? And is he going to gain the respect of Omega after what happened here tonight? It's a very interesting situation as Kenny Omega doesn't really have any clear buddies here, bro.
Yeah. It's not that. It just seems like he has no clear direction right now.
And he's lost a lot more than we care to see.
He has. I mean, I'm all on board with, Kenny Omega using his star power to make other stars. But let's make sure we're not making Kenny Omega no longer a star, man. He needs to be Kenny Omega. Like his promo is, he needs to be Kenny Omega, needs to start caring about the world title. Everything that he was basically saying himself. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. We got a Danhausen vignette. Yes, Danhausen looks to be returning. And he is, Returnhausen.
Returning from what?
Injury.
When he wasn't injured.
I think he had a knee injury.
Even when he wasn't injured, he wasn't like wrestling. I mean,
what is he going to add to the show?
He's not. I mean, when he was completely healthy, he wasn't like a big in-ring performer. Is all I'm saying. So
he's gonna curse you, Jesse.
Speaking of cursed, before I forget this, I wrote this down earlier in the show. It's right here. I fucking forgot to bring it up. Who attacked Jay White?
I don't know. Adam Cole.
Okay. So one might want to say, oh, well, we haven't found out yet, so they haven't told us. Okay. All right. Whatever. Next question. Why does Jay White not care about who fucking attacked him? Why is he not on a rampage? Like, who in the fuck was it that fucking attacked me?
Yeah, it is funny how we haven't gotten any mention of that since that happened. Like, Jay White hasn't mentioned it since for the last 3 weeks.
It just, oh, okay, that happened. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Like, wait a minute. This should be, if nothing else, Jay White should be beside himself. Like, I'm on a fucking mission to find out who the fuck attacked me. All you fucking guys in the ring with me, go out there and start looking for evidence, videotape.
Well. To be fair, Jesse, he did blame MJF. He thinks MJF did it.
He thinks MJF did it, but he has not done anything to prove it.
What do you want him to do? Pull up the security cameras?
They haven't used security cameras before. I mean, but he should give a shit as to who attacked him, as opposed to being passive aggressive. Oh, it was MJF. I think it was you. MJF said, no, it wasn't me. So now what? Yes, it was, or okay, then forget it. What is it? You left us with this big, huge cliffhanger with no payoff. That had no payoff. He said MJF did it. MJF said, I didn't do it. Okay. Well, back to the storylines, I guess. It didn't happen again. It didn't happen to someone else. We didn't definitively find out who did it. What happened?
I'm sure it'll be brought up when they wrestle each other at Full Gear. They may show themselves and show their faces at Full Gear. We don't know.
You left us with a cliffhanger. The next time we see you on said show, you're supposed to give us some kind of payoff, some kind of explanation, or at the very minimum, at least some kind of continuation to let us know that it'll be addressed down the road, as opposed to, all right, that happened.
Well, all of the culprits are hanging out in Roddy's humble abode, bro. Eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
You don't. Then if that's the case,
that's my prediction.
It may be. But at the same time, Jay White should be on a fucking rampage. Who in the fuck attacked me? Why is no one trying to fucking find out? Where's TK? Where's management? What is all this going on back here? How come no one gives a shit that I was attacked by masked men?
We'll see. Let it play out, bro. Let it play out.
This is letting it play out. That was 2 weeks ago. This is letting it play out. You had 2 weeks to give us some kind of explanation, and we got nothing. I did let it play out. I didn't wait till the post show of the attack.
I mean, a hint or something. I would appreciate that. Yeah. A small nugget of information.
Something. Yeah, I didn't come here on the night of the attack after the show and then say, we don't know who did it. Yeah, it just happened. Give it a week. All right. We don't know who did it. Give it another week. Now we're 2 weeks past. Now I'm saying we need some fucking answers.
Anyway, Lance Archer.
Lance.
Where's he been, man? He hasn't been on the show in God knows how long. He was only on the show because he's a Texas native, and they were in Houston tonight. So Tony Khan once again booking for the hometown faithful here. He went one-on-one with Barrett Brown, and Archer dragged his opponent to the ring after tossing him down the aisleway like he usually does. Everybody's going to die. Gets him in the ring. Brown started to make a comeback, dove at Lance Archer, but Archer chokeslammed him onto the ring apron. Archer then finished him with a blackout, ends in 2 minutes, and that was basically it. Just a waste of my time. I mean, what is Lance Archer back on TV, or is he just back on TV because they were in Texas tonight?
I can agree that. So Wardlow coming back and doing what Wardlow did, beating up a jobber in seconds and leaving. I can see where that has some legs and it could turn into a story because they gave us the little nuggets for it. So that makes sense. That deserves to let it play out. This is just rinse and repeat, Lance Archer.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing here.
Nothing new. Just a waste of time. Absolutely. I mean, a fucking half-witted idiot could have came up with this match for this show tonight. Like, this is the product of the creative team? Come on.
Nothing. No Jake Roberts.
Nothing.
No mentioning of the time that Lance Archer spent in New Japan, kicking ass over there. Just
where he primarily works out of. He's not even an AEW talent. He's a New Japan talent.
Yeah, just nothing.
Swerve Strickland apparently has a new music video premiering on Friday on YouTube called Big Pressure. And they showed a teaser of a remix video that he will be releasing on Friday. They went to Nana and Swerve on the street with graffiti in the background talking about his new music video. He may have been on the set of his new music video. We don't really know. Nana said it was an exciting time. Swerve says he's not excited because he should be celebrating with the TNT title. Says he's not because of Hangman Page. Said the match wasn't personal at Wrestle Dream. It was Swerve versus The Spot. Now, Adam Page has made it personally. Says it's not always who pays for your actions, is what he said.
I love the Swerve and Nana dynamic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's almost like they don't need mogul affiliates anymore.
It's just them two.
Yeah.
That's all they fucking need. Yeah. I like the levity of which Nana brings to the gimmick, the dancing, the fucking being like just a goofball and shit. And I love how when Swerve enters the fucking frame, like, oh shit, it's fucking business time. Just back the fuck up. Swerve's entering the fucking room. It makes Swerve come off as a bigger deal. Yeah. As an even bigger deal. As Nana goofs off and he takes all of the fucking heat from the slapstick shit. But then Swerve walks in and it's like, ooh, like the record screech. Uh-oh. Shit's getting real now. I like it. I love that fucking dynamic.
Do you swerve when you drive, Jesse?
I do not. I don't want to get tickets. And plus, my new car won't let me swerve. It puts you back in the lane.
Oh, you got one of them. Fancy vehicles. Okay,
self-drive, man.
Listen, Swerve is actually with Nana coming to House of Glory on December 1st, man.
Oh,
now that's going to be very interesting, man, because I'm sure he knows I work there, and he does not like me. So I may have to go up to him and squash some business and say, "Listen, bro, we love you."
Let me know how that works.
No hard feelings, man.
Let me know how that works out for you.
That's not going to work out well. He's probably going to he's probably going to give me a JML driver right there on the fucking concrete.
Not going to go well, bro.
No?
Nah.
Nah, he doesn't care for me at all, huh?
Put it like this. Swerve is a businessman. He will definitely sit down and give you his time and discuss his issue with you for sure.
Okay.
For sure. So
what is his issue? Apparently, he doesn't like differing opinion, huh?
I don't know, man. Let the man speak his truth, bro.
Okay. I may have to bring Hoot Media into the concessions here.
And if he kicks your ass, you know, I mean, it won't be the first time you get your ass kicked out there. So
I mean, Charles Mason already gave me a broken jaw.
Shout out to Charles Mason, man.
Yeah, Mason did what everybody wants to do.
Yeah.
Punched me right at the commentary desk. Surprised
like,
that happened before that.
People are like, look, Mason just turned babyface. Look.
Yeah. Anyway, man, listen. I look forward to calling Swerve's match, whoever he's in the ring with at Hog. It's going to be whose house of glory? Swerve's. So, December 1st, man, on Premier Network. Shivani, he was in the ring with Sting. We did talk about Sting a little bit before in the open of the show. Sting is in the ring, and Shivani said that he introduced Sting in 1987 on TBS, and it thrills him every time. He introduced Sting, who made his way to the ring. And he yelled out, and he said, decades ago, fans yelled back, and it thrilled him. Well, shall I say the word? He paused, and he said he wanted to reflect a little bit first before talking about that dreaded word. Says he's traveled up and down the road with people like Lex Luger, the Steiners, and Buff Bagwell. Says they look at the generation ahead of them that helped shape his career like Dusty Rhodes. He said he was the most charismatic wrestler he had ever seen. He mentioned Hulk Hogan, who was booed in Texas. Sting acknowledged the boos for Hulk Hogan, but said, listen, Hogan transcended pro wrestling, and I did learn a thing or two from Hulk Hogan. He did transcend pro wrestling, Jesse.
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess.
But wait, but did he though?
Yes.
Did he do it though?
No, Vince McMahon did.
Thank you.
Yes.
I feel like
Hulk Hogan was just a fucking all-star player hired by Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
I feel like Hogan was the tool that Vince picked at the time.
Yeah.
I feel like if he had a whole toolkit, he could have picked any one of the tools that fit that job, and it would have gotten done what Hogan got done. Now,
but
Hogan, Hogan did his part. He nailed his part. But Vince could have just as easily picked someone else than put him in.
Let's put it this way. If Vince picked anybody else and didn't pick Terry Bollea, would it have worked out the same way for Vince McMahon? Probably not.
Depending on who he picked.
Who was he going to pick?
You could have, if you would have told me that he was going to pick Terry Bollea, I would have said that's not going to fucking work. Because it didn't play out yet. We don't fucking know. We don't know. Macho Man got pretty fucking close. He could have made Macho Man a fucking just as high as a megastar.
Macho Man didn't look like Terry Bollea.
He did not. He was not as big. But I'm saying, I said, Hogan did his part, but I think Vince picked Hogan and ran with him. So
listen, it's up for debate for sure. But he did mention Hogan. He did get booed. He then touted Ric Flair and thanked him. Fans chanted, "Thank you, Sting." Sting said, no, thank you guys. He said, they'd wonder why those wrestlers hung on so long. He said, now look at him. He said, it's the smell of the arena and the camaraderie of the wrestlers and its fans. He said his body can't do what it did 20 years ago. He asked if he should be jumping off balconies. No, he should not, but I'm not going to stop him. He says they'd get back to that. He says there's a word that he's hesitant to say. Fans chanted, you still got it. He said fans are thinking he retired once already. Yes, I said the word retire. He said that retirement in 2015 didn't sit well with him, and there was a key moment in his retirement speech when he said nothing's for sure. He said that brings him to the word retirement again. So he is standing there, and he says this is his moment and their moment, and he wants to share it with them. He said he started with AEW at Revolution 2021, and he said his very last match will be AEW at Revolution 2024. And that was basically it. And I've seen a lot of people online saying, well, why Revolution? Why isn't it at All In? Why isn't it at Double or Nothing or All Out or one of the bigger shows that AEW has as a marquee event, one of their bigger marquee shows? It makes sense. He signed a 3-year deal. He does not want to extend his deal. He wants to end when his deal is up. From Revolution 2021 to Revolution 2024. I don't know why people are saying it should be somewhere else when that is fitting within the time frame of his contract.
It's what Sting wants.
Yes, that's the only thing that matters.
That's the only thing. If his contract is up at Revolution, but he said, "Hey, TK, I want to end it at All In. I'll give you the extension right to All In.
Yeah.
I'll give you whatever." I mean, he'll give him whatever he fucking wants to go out the way he wants to go out. He chose to go out at Revolution, and that's just what it is.
It's crazy. He's going to get what he wants. Sting is going to want what he wants as his final send-off. Tony Khan's going to give it to him. Tony Khan, I know, is going to make it special. And it's crazy, Jesse. You know, I said that I think Tony Khan and AEW are going to really ride this wave and kind of make AEW Dynamite must-see to see what Sting does in his final couple of months and, you know, who he's going to be in the ring with in his final couple of months. And it's crazy because not only do we got Sting, we also have Bryan Danielson kind of calling it quits next year. Not completely retiring, but, I mean, it's going to be very, I don't want to say interesting, but it's going to be kind of sad to see Sting go and then Bryan Danielson take a very lax schedule at the same time, man. Next year, both guys are going to be going bye-bye.
Yeah, so Sting's going to step out of the ring entirely, and Bryan's basically going to hop into Sting's spot. You know, and just basically a part-time special occasions. Whenever he basically wants to, he'll, you know, do a match, but he'll no longer be a full-time in-ring performer. And it's kind of sad, but it's also kind of cool to see that the guy went from being an indie darling to being someone who can legitimately have a job anywhere he wants in any wrestling company in the world, work whatever schedule he wants and make whatever money he wants because he's that goddamn good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, Bryan's probably going to be somewhat creative as well and kind of be one of the right-hand guys of Tony Khan because of their relationship there. So he's definitely going to have more of a backstage role than he's going to be in-ring. But, you know, next year it's Sting and Bryan Danielson, man. Two guys, two legends, kind of toning it down in their wrestling careers. RJ City, he's with Tony Storm. And tonight, Tony Storm debuted her second blockbuster entitled Gone with the Storm. Tony walked in and told him not to say another word. She told them to play the picture. They cut to a split screen commercial break, and the movie began to play during the split screen. We got the movie including her taking an aggressive bite out of a banana. Get your mind out of the gutters, guys. Taking a bite out of the banana and a reference to a pearl necklace. She slapped RJ, who then said, "I meant the jewelry." He said next week she'll have her own butler service. She thanked RJ, who she then called Mr. Studio Man. RJ called her a big star and said that they'd roll out the red carpet. She asked for a close-up and struck a pose in the wind. So she's really fine, diving headfirst into this gimmick. It's great. We say it every week. But I did mention last week, Jesse, RJ City almost as the de facto interviewer here for the Tony Storm act. You know, I wasn't a big fan, and I told you this before. I don't really watch anything RJ City does on YouTube, but I've kind of warmed up to him, man. His personality mixed with Tony Storm is great television to me. I don't know what flipped the switch there, but the interactions between the two are just natural, and it's genuinely, I don't want to say, you know, it's good, but it's like heartwarming. It just fits perfectly.
I've started every Sunday I watch AEW now.
Yeah.
RJ City is actually a pretty funny guy.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying those segments. So the stuff the stuff he does here with Tony Storm, they are great. They're funny. They're hilarious. I still don't think they're as good as the stuff he does on AEW. You know, some guests are better than others. They're not all like home runs, but some of those fucking segments, man, are just really, really, really fucking good. And him with Tony Storm, I think that adds another layer to what she's doing. I am so on board with this new gimmick, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that they needed a new women's champion and they didn't go flying right back to Tony Storm yet. Good. Let her keep doing what she's doing with this gimmick. Give her some time away from that title as this gimmick develops and gets even better. when it starts to maybe get a little boring or you don't know what to do with it next, then give it a title again and watch it just fucking revamp itself and be great all over again.
Yeah, I wonder who this Butler's going to be. Apparently, some people in the chat saying that it's going to be Mariah May, a female Butler next week. I don't know. It could be anybody. I mean, I'd be Tony Storm's Butler. Fuck it.
What if it's Reggie?
No. Scripps, the guy Scripps on NXT. That guy.
No. Reggie, who was with Carmella.
Yeah, that's Scripps on NXT. You didn't really, you don't watch NXT.
I don't watch NXT. That's where he is now?
They put him in a silly mask, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea that existed. Oh, okay.
Yeah, awful. Well, what a terrible gimmick. He went from working the women's division to wearing a fucking lucha mask on NXT and then losing every match that they put him in.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. He got him in a mask on NXT.
Well, they took the mask off him because they thought the gimmick was a failure, but yeah. The chat will let you know. Awful.
Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like he had all kinds of high upside to get. I mean, I think the stuff in the women's division was his pinnacle. He's not going to get any better than that for him.
Hey, listen, he was in the ring with Sasha Banks. I mean, that's his career highlight there.
There you go.
Jim Ross. His career highlight this year is sitting next to Nick Wayne's mother. I know. Jim Ross telling Nick Wayne.
Milf material, man. If you follow Jim Ross on Twitter, you know what kind of material he likes, bro.
My goodness.
I love following Jim Ross, man.
Nick Wayne, he cannot believe what he did to Darby Allin, Jim Ross. He says good friends in pro wrestling are rare. Nick Wayne's mom said that she was shocked. Said Darby was there for him from the beginning. She scolded her son for siding with Christian after what he said about his late father. She pleaded with him. Wayne snapped and said, with Darby, he was always in the shadows. He said it's time for him to prove himself and prove why he's there. He told his mom, this is him, and said Christian is a better father figure than his real dad ever was. Christian walked in, put his hand on Nick's shoulders. He asked, are you ready to come home, son? Nick's mom begged, no, please don't. Don't go. She put his hand on his shoulder, spun around and yelled at him for walking away with Christian. She then slapped him in the face. And Nick Wayne then looked at his mom and said, you're a terrible mother, and you're dead to me. And then Christian is standing there in the background watching all this happen, and Nick Wayne's mom, Jesse, looks over at Christian and says, in this sobbing voice, what did you do to him? What did you do? And Christian told her, well, you should have picked up the phone, and walked away. So then we get the sounds of what looked to be a backstage brawl happening on the other side of the door that they walked out of. The door opened up and Darby was attacking Christian and Nick Wayne. And Darby threw Nick Wayne right into a fucking barricade that was sitting right there in the parking lot. So we get this segment ending. And then all of a sudden we get all of this action bleeding to the outside. Darby dragged Wayne onto the ramp. Luchasaurus made the save. Christian joined in. Sting then comes back out, went after Christian and Luchasaurus. He threw Luchasaurus into the ringside barricade. Wayne was bleeding from the mouth from the beat up from Darby. Christian begged Sting to not touch him in the ring. Sting put him in a Scorpion Deathlock, but Christian was dragged out of the ring by Luchasaurus, who stood by with Nick Wayne on the ramp bleeding from the attack from Darby Allin. This was great stuff.
It was great. It was great stuff. Like I said, man, this Nick Wayne heel turn is going to be such a hard sell.
Yeah.
Nick Wayne is pissed that his mom slapped him, so he left with Christian Cage. Christian Cage did a lot more than slap him.
I don't know, man. You know, we go from that scene where Swerve and AR Fox left Nick Wayne bloodied in his home, in the ring, the training facility there in his backyard, to now he feels like Darby is overshadowing him, or he felt like he was in Darby's shadow. I mean, who was there to save him from that Swerve and AR Fox attack? It was Darby Allin. Without Darby Allin, it's like who knows where Nick Wayne would be? He may be dead. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see. I mean, I'm not seeing anything wrong with Nick's run as a heel right now. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as far as we've seen, he's doing okay. I mean, he'll get is that why he was bleeding, because he lost a tooth?
Yeah, he lost a tooth. Well, The call was he lost the tooth. I don't know if that was shoot or what, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. There's no reason for blood right there, so he probably did lose a tooth.
That's pretty brutal there. I mean, this is Christian. What haven't we said about Christian Cage? Just great shit. Well, why didn't you pick up the phone? You should have picked up the phone.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
Father of the Year continues to just fucking blow us away, man, with his fatherly ability.
Yeah, the bigger that Christian Cage can make that TNT title, the better, because it allows them to leave the world title on MJF for as long as I know they want to, and you can build that TNT title to be the clear-cut second title, or or 1B, and that one can be passed, back and forth, not back and forth, but passed from holder to holder without it being like a 5-year title reign and no shit like that.
Yeah.
But the TNT title is getting much love from Christian Cage right now.
Yeah. It's definitely the man who makes the title, not the title that makes the man. And Christian Cage is proving that with this TNT title reign. This is now the second biggest title. It's amazing how we went from the International Championship being right underneath the AEW World title. Now we're back to the TNT title being the second title in the company that is most important here because of what Christian Cage has done with it. It's just unbelievable work.
Yeah, one was defended every damn week, week in and week out, top of the show, and the other ones rarely defended, but they are saddled with fantastic creative and promos and everything like that. So you can do both. You can make a title worth its while in the ring, but I think the one with the story behind it is much more interesting, man. Because after a while, so many orange punches and Slumdog Millionaires you can do before it's just like, okay, we've seen this. Now what? You know? So I'm loving what Christian Cage is doing right. That cannot be said enough.
And then in the main event, guys, we got the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. 12 guys here, all challenging for the right to fight MJF next week for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Very standard, very fundamental, formulaic AEW Battle Royal. Nothing really special about this. You got Dustin Rhodes in there, Matt Menard, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Trent Beretta, Jake Hager. Commander was in there. I mentioned Fuego del Sol. They all look the same to me with the fucking masks. Fuego's
Commander
gone,
Aziz.
I believe. Yeah, Commander's in there. Johnny T. Yeah, Commander Aziz. God forbid. Johnny TV, Matt Sydal. We got Juice Robinson in there. Like I said, he was the one that eventually won this thing. And it came down to two logical guys in the end. There was Max Caster and Juice Robinson. They were the final two. Dustin Rhodes was in there. He got a big pop in Texas, hometown guy. Daniel Garcia got a big reaction with his dancing. He was finally able to bust out the dance after Matt Menard told him to stop a few times. And like I said, very fundamental here. It came down to the last two, Juice and Max Caster. So Robinson was clutching onto the top rope, cut off a charging Max Caster. Robinson wanted to suplex out to the floor, but Caster held on to the top rope. Juice falls down, and Max Caster's up top. He goes off top with the mic drop, elbow drop. Jay White attacked MJF on commentary. The fight continued on the stage with MJF getting his AEW World title back briefly, but Jay White hit a low blow and regained possession of the Triple B. This distracted Caster after MJF made all that sense in the world about not being a dumb baby face. Max Caster's, MJF, what's going on? He's looking on the fucking apron, turning his back on his opponent. Juice Robinson put on his TJ Maxx ring and knocked out Max Caster, eliminating him to win the Battle Royal. Bullet Club had a stare down with MJF as Jay White held up the AEW title, and Juice flashed his knockoff ring to end tonight's show. So next week it's Juice versus MJF for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and that's the way the show ended.
So, I kind of like, I kind of like having the heel steal the world title and walk around for a few weeks and proclaim it as such. It gives you the dynamic of having MJF lose the title and having, your Jay White walk around as world champion without beating your world champion. It works. You just can't do it all the time. And that's not something that AEW does, so that's great. But if your goddamn heel is stealing the world title every other, championship, it's kind of no fun. It works here, especially since I'm sure the plan is to not take that title off of MJF anytime soon. It gives, even if it's not an authentic rub, and who are we kidding? These belts are props, anyway. So whoever's holding it is the fucking champion, as far as anyone from the outside looking in can tell. And Jay is being tagged to walk around holding the world title for a few weeks. I think the visual of that and the trust in that is very telling, especially for someone who everyone wants to claim is buried and gone in Jay White. So I do like the dynamic, and it gives MJF a chance to actually go chase his own title back in this little bitty feud right here. So I like what they're doing right now with MJF and the title and Jay White. So.
Yeah, I do too. It also paints the picture that MJF, even though he's worked his ass off to try and be a good guy, he let his guard down. He wants to be a good guy. He wants to do what's right. People still have not, I guess, trusted him enough to befriend him after his terrible deeds over the last 4 years. And it creates and paints this sympathetic figure that is constantly trying to battle back from behind, and he's doing it by himself. He's got nobody. And going into the pay-per-view with that sympathetic figure that way, and he's behind the 8 ball doing this all by himself, and him overcoming, the Bullet Club to retain that title and get that title back at the pay-per-view, it just makes for a good babyface story. I look at it, not that I want it to be overly complicated. It's very simple, and sometimes the simple things are best.
You feed that damn cat, man.
I don't know what the fuck. I'm about to fucking toss her out on the street, to be quite honest with you. I can't even work in this office anymore.
Why'd you let her in the room?
Because she sleeps here.
Kick her out.
So yeah, it creates a sympathetic figure in the most simplest way, man. So, I think it's great storytelling. I really do. I think that this mixed with the Adam Cole thing and MJF having his hands in multiple cookie jars, and then the Edge or Adam Copeland, Christian Cage stuff, the Don Callis family. I mean, listen, man, the story is there. They just had an off week this week. It wasn't the most interesting thing. They didn't have a lot of substantial stories here. They didn't really forward anything too crazy. It just took this week into next week, and hopefully we get more next week.
Yeah. I'm liking it. I think Jay White is earning his keep and proving that he was well worth the acquisition, and he's not buried. All right. I think Jay White's going to be a fantastic piece to the AEW world title picture for years to come.
Yeah. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this first stream back since last Wednesday. And we got Clucky back. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much. We are going to get into the super chats in just a second. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes on tonight.
Let's get a thumbs up for the cat, please.
Yeah, she's asking for thumbs up. 1,000 likes, please, on tonight's video. Make sure you guys get your super chats, and we're going to hang out in just a second. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And follow Jesse and I on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. And go follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smark on Twitter as well. And Jesse's going to be live tomorrow night with the Impact post show as we are heading into Bound for Glory. When is that, Jesse? Is that this weekend?
That is this Saturday, man. I will be there live.
There you go. So Jesse will not be on the Collision post show with me.
Nope. I'm not even doing the Bound for Glory post show. I'll be at the pay-per-view. I got to do it Sunday morning, I think. Should be a good show. Should be a really good show.
It is looking like a good card. All right, guys, let's get into these super chats so I can get out of here and figure out what the fuck's wrong with my cat. Tyler with a 199. Glad you are back, JD. We missed you. OTS for life. Tyler, I'm glad I am back, man. You guys are going to get a lot of content. You may get sick of me by the end of the week. Thank you for the 199, brother. Sonny Singh with a 199. Welcome back, guys. We missed you. OTS forever. Thank you, Sonny. Nick Williams with 17 months. I'm happy you're back, JD. I still don't trust Endeavor. I think Vince being ousted is just a PR stunt. Keep your guard up. Aside from that, wrestling is back. I always have one eye on what Vince McMahon is doing, bro. We've been burned before. There's no reason to believe that he is gone forever. When he wants to do something and change something and take over, he will. Lord J. Cole.
I don't give a shit what Vince does.
Well, I just hope he goes away forever. Lord J. Coyle with a 5 and a 2. I know you don't like these super chats, but my dog Taz sadly left us on Monday. I'd often watch OTS with him, and it breaks my heart that I can't do that now. Alter Bridge, A Wonderful Life describes how I feel now. Lord J. Coyle, I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
Wow.
My thoughts and prayers are with you, man.
Yeah, man.
Pets are family. No doubt about it. And that's a great song. That song does make me cry when they play it live. It's a real tearjerker. Joseph Taylor with a $6 super chat. 2 things, JD. Welcome back. And my favorite Sting moment showing up in AEW. Matt Fugitive with a 6 months. Welcome back, JD. Best wishes to you and your family. OTS for life. Glad to have you back with us. Thank you, Matt. Beyond the Scripts, 25 months. JD, thank God you're back. Been so boring. It's been a true honor and privilege to be a member. I hope things are going well and you had a good week. All is well here, brother. Michelle with a 2. Very lackluster assortment for the Battle Royal. Very Ring of Honor-esque. Sinister Classic with a new membership. Thank you, bro. Mama Scripts with 1 month. Welcome back, JD. You've been missed, and you are an inspiration to all of us. Thank you, Mama Scripts. Jason, thank you again, brother, for the $100 super chat. Always appreciate your generosity here in the OTS venue. John Ortolaza with a $5 super chat. I met Mercedes at New York City Comic-Con. Told her she was a standout to me when I got back into wrestling in 2016. Where do you want to see her next? Much love, JD. I'd love to see her in AEW. But with Triple H maintaining 99.9% creative according to the dirt sheets, it is not out of the realm of possibility that Sasha Banks could be back in WWE. Triple H, I know, would love to have her. And it was the past administration that passed on Mercedes and did not want to pay her. It wasn't Triple H.
There was a clip that somebody sent us of them going to see Mercedes.
Yeah.
And it was the person, and they had a camera right in her face. And then they said to her, hey, I know you left a WWE for creative and everything else. And then she just kind of like had it out on them like, well, who told you that? It's like, oh, I read it online. And she was like, okay, well, thank you, And then somebody sent it to us like, well, this proves that she didn't leave for creative. I mean, my reply is like, what did you expect her to say sitting there with a camera in her face?
She wants, so whoever sent this to you or expects us to reply, my reply to all these fucking idiots out there, what do you expect Mercedes to say? Do you think that she's going to give you the answer while she's having all these people in line wait for her to sign autographs? She's just going to blurt out the reason why she left WWE in front of all these random fucking strangers.
Yeah.
You kidding me? I know the reason why she left. And I can't tell you why I know because I'd get in trouble. So Jesse and I know. And whatever the reason is, Mercedes, did she leave because of creative? Sure, that was part of the reason. That was absolutely part of the reason. She's not going to tell you that is, but it is. And the reason is because obviously they don't appreciate, that past administration didn't appreciate women's wrestling. It's basically part of the reason.
Why else would she? It wasn't about money.
Well, money. Well, they didn't want to pay her.
What did Jim Ross say? Cash and creative.
Yeah.
Why would she leave about money in the middle of her deal, in the middle of a tag title run, up and walk out for money?
Listen, Mercedes, even if she was offered the money that she wanted and more, it doesn't really guarantee that she would stay there because Mercedes, yeah, she deserves to be paid. Yeah, she wants to be paid. But there is a deep-rooted fucking passion and love that this woman has for professional wrestling that she would not satisfy herself by staying in WWE. I mean, as soon as she left, Charlotte won the championship again. Like, nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed there since she's left. Mercedes has been better off for it leaving WWE. She wanted to go to Japan. She did it. She won championships in Japan already. She did it. Had a banger with Kyrie. She did it. She's going to come back and win more championships in Japan and possibly AEW. She's going to do that.
She's wrestling and she's happy.
Yes. That's it.
Wrestling.
That's it.
So,
and yes, Trinity, listen. Now, how many, Jesse knows this for a fucking fact because Jesse knows the whole story just as much as I know the story because I told him. Jesse knows that Trinity was part of the reason why she left as well because they are very close. And a lot of people painted Mercedes, every dirt sheet presented Mercedes as the one who left and was the crybaby. But, Jesse, I ask you, who's to say that Trinity didn't walk out and was angry and Sasha or Mercedes walked out and followed Trinity because she was a good friend? Why did Mercedes have to leave? Why couldn't it have been Trinity that was pissed off and pushed to her limit and walked away? Nobody reported that, though, right? I mean, I don't know, man. You guys make your own assumptions. I know the real deal. Sorry to tell you. That's all I'll say there. We're moving on. No more Mercedes talk. We love Mercedes. Hollywood guy with a $5 super chat. Do you feel that Tony's tweets can damage the AEW brand, maybe losing some fans along the way, making the company look bad? Yeah, absolutely. He needs to curb his enthusiasm.
Wait, about what? His tweets?
Yeah.
I love how all of a sudden, out of the blue, when it came to the Punk situation and TK's tweets, all of a sudden, out of the blue, the WWE stans are all about being an adult. They're all about not being immature. You have to be more mature. That's so immature. That's not professional. They love. Oh, you got to be a professional too. That's not professional. They're so immature. Wait a minute. I'm not even saying you're wrong, but why do you care all of a sudden now about maturity and all this other shit? I mean, where did this come from?
Do you not think Vince McMahon did the same thing during the Attitude Era that Tony Khan's doing now?
I mean, maturity? Really?
I mean, the CEO, well, he's not the CEO anymore, but Vince McMahon, he's a sexual predator. So,
my God.
I mean, if you're comparing both names, who's better off? Tony Khan is.
At last I checked, TK have not written. Okay, well, I mean, look, I'm not gonna.
TK's not a sexual predator.
Hey,
okay.
You said it, not me. But look, so they want to hang their hats on Triple H, and so Triple H and maturity, really? DX, really? Okay, how about after DX when he was in management? Remember, Triple H, this is the same guy that went on and made that big rant in the ring about calling all of the WWE fans marks. Oh, I know. I'm going to go online, me and my friend Mark, and we're going to write about it online. That's the same Triple H. That's management Triple H.
Wasn't it WWE leaking the Fast Nationals for Rampage when they first hit the scene?
Very immature.
Who was that? That was WWE. Who was it that tattled on AEW for the fucking pizza cutter Nick Gage incident on Dynamite? That was WWE too.
WWE. They're not gonna tolerate that blood and gut stuff.
So you want to talk about immaturity? WWE has been very immature in regards to AEW, and Tony Khan is only storing up all this animosity, and it's just bursting out at the same time.
Yeah,
so
he's getting tired of their bullshit. I mean, they're not competition. We don't care about it. AEW is not competition. So we're gonna go counter program everything they fucking do.
Wasn't WWE contract tampering with some of Tony's talent last year as well? Keith Lee and Swerve to be named, I'm sure, right?
Last year,
yeah.
This year, now.
Well, last year, yeah, last year it was Swerve and Keith Lee for sure.
Still doing it? What?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, so let's curb the enthusiasm about what happened last week.
Still tampering?
Yeah.
I mean, Jade, what? No.
Yeah, well.
That was, no.
Hikaru Suke with a 8 months. Glad to see you back, JD. I hope you enjoyed your vacation, and thank you for all your hard work and dedication. You are the true tribal chief of the IWC. Thank you very much for 8 months. Appreciate you. What do we got here? Sham World with 12 months. Rumor has it that Monday Night Raw might be heading to Tuesdays. If so, will TNT turn into Monday Night Titans or will it stay on Tuesdays? Bro, I don't fucking know what's going on. Why would they move Raw off Monday? It's been on Monday since 1992 or 1993. Who gives? Why are we making assumptions off of nothing? Because Ari Emanuel said, well, we have the flexibility. We could move it to any night of the week.
You're supposed to say that. They're trying to get a buyer for their TV rights deal.
Yes.
So if someone's sitting around interested, saying, I'm interested in Raw, but nah, we have our Monday spot locked up already. He's out there saying, hey, we're flexible, bro.
Yep. Yuri Lover with a 5. JD, my great uncle, passed away today due to a brutal cancer. I've known him ever since I was a baby. Please send your thoughts for me and my family. Sorry to hear that, Yuri Lover. Thoughts and prayers with your family. Joseph Taylor with a $5 super chat. The only 3 good Goldberg matches ever. DDP Halloween Havoc, 1998 Brock Lesnar, and WrestleMania 33 in 2017.
Now, all bad matches. He has never had a good match.
No.
The closest thing to a good match that Goldberg has ever had, you can quote me on this, it's the Monday Nitro match he had with William Regal.
You know more about that than I do.
Oh my God. And Regal caught heat for that match because they got mad, from what Regal is saying. They got mad because he went out there and exposed Goldberg about his inability to work in the ring. Regal went out there and put this guy in fucking holds, countered his fucking moves, put him in stretches. Goldberg looked like a fucking idiot out there. He didn't know what to do. Regal out there just working them, man.
Nah, but we have a lack of depth in the world of pro wrestling. Sure thing, Bill. Sure thing, Bill. Stick to your fucking hot rods, Bill.
Regal stretched the fuck out of him. He didn't know what to do. They had to have him go home. Go home. Go home. Jackhammer.
What did Gorilla Monsoon used to say? He doesn't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. That's Bill Goldberg.
That's Goldberg.
Steven with a $4.99. Malachi Black has done more for MWL, Moist Wrestling League, than he's done for AEW since All In. JD fucks, Jesse fucks, Drew fucks, OTS for life. Thank you, Steven. I don't know what Moist Wrestling League is, and I don't want to know what it is.
MLW.
Yeah. Jay and Joe's World with the $4.99. So Tony Khan is scheduled to give Sting a gift. Any ideas what you think it might be? I don't know. Maybe a Rolex. Championship. Who the fuck knows? Maybe he'll create his own fucking championship in AEW and have him defend it.
Give him that Dynamite Diamond Ring.
Scripps with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, welcome back. I have an idea. Tony Khan and MJF needs to open a store. Call it TK Maxx. Ha. Funny. LJ with 27 months. OTS for life. The random ad for Olive Garden while y'all talk about bread. LOL. Put a cap on my night. Really?
They stuck an Olive Garden ad in your
Wow.
show.
Hey, you gotta love their breadsticks, man. Scripps with a 5. Hey, Jesse, if crust wasn't meant to eat, bread wouldn't be made with crust to begin with. Love ya, but not your tacos.
Okay.
This is the next thing that we're going to troll Jesse over for weeks to come. Bread with crust.
Do you know that pizza crust and bread are two different fucking breads? Okay. Just, okay.
Tenario with a 5. JD, did you ever like Friday the 13th? No.
One is cooked with garlic and oil and butter. Oh, okay. Just
butter and oil. Jake Miller with 12 months. Thank you, brother. Jonathan McCardle with $19.99 in Super Chat. Can't wait to watch AEW with a cold Sam Adams Oktoberfest. That sounds good to me, brother. That sounds good to me, man. Can't go wrong with a nice cold Sam Adams. Jedi Joke with a $5 Super Chat. Going to Dynamite with my brother Golden Boy next week. And I don't know if you've seen, he brought me a 151, or bought me a 151 Elite Trainer box, pulled the Charizard on in the last pack. I did not see. That's great shit, man. It's a $120 card. That trainer box only goes for $49.99.
What are we doing right now?
Talking about Pokemon. I don't know.
What is happening right now?
I don't know. You hate Crust, and he's talking about a Charizard Pokemon card.
Right. You know, jeez.
And Georgie, with a $9.99, I have never donated, commented. But just know I've been watching since 2016. OTS helped me through a dark period back in 2019, and I owe it all to you. Your hard work does not go unnoticed. Love from Albania. Ooh.
Wow.
Georgie, thank you so much, brother. We are going to be here for you whenever you need, brother. Hope all is well in Albania, man. Jesse, we're getting out of here, man. Any parting words before I rev up the Mustang?
No, man. I'm getting ready to bring some changes to the channel, man. Structural and cosmetic and all that stuff. So
really,
join me. I'm gonna do it after Bound for Glory, so starting next week. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
Should be pretty big.
Change is good sometimes. I hate change, but sometimes change is needed and change is good.
Right. Me, right, man. I'm not a big fan of change, but when it's time for it, it's time for it. Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get out of here, man. I don't know what I'm going to do. I may open some Poke Packs and record some more videos, or I may just go to sleep, man, because I'm fucking tired. Been a long week. Anyway, I appreciate you joining me for this stream back. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. Thank you for the 2,000 plus in here tonight for the AEW Dynamite post show. I know it was a lame duck show. Not much happened, but I'm glad that we're back, and I'm glad that we're back in the office doing our thing, man. Kind of hate when I'm away from the action. But we are back, and it's going to be a busy week, man. Tomorrow, Drew and I will be live for TNT. Friday, I'll be live for SmackDown. Saturday, I'll be live for Collision, and then I'll be giving you the news as it breaks all week long going into the weekend. Brian with 8 months. 8 months in the venue. Missed you, JD. Not Jesse, though. OTS for life. Rev that Mustang. Come on. Why you got to show Jesse disrespect, Brian?
I hate guys named Brian.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Extra, and then Drew and I, TNT, right here on OTS. I will see you guys later.